To those tuning in, we say hello. This is Hot Mike on the Line. Hot Mike is a show directed to support those in corrections, law enforcement, and first responders, and our families. Remember, all the hosts and guests may speak of certain subjects about their line. This show does not represent any department in any way.
It is solely our opinion.
Warning, this show contains explicit content that may not be suitable for the easily offended, the faint-hearted, the intolerant of bad words, the individuals who are looking to get upset, and the triggered.
I'm talking to you, Karen.
If you believe that you're about to listen to material that you may find objectionable, offensive, distasteful, or unpleasant, please tune out now.
Are you still listening?
Hot Mic is real talk, and we are
Live.
So kick off your boots, grab yourself a drink, and stand by.
Stand by. Through it.
Yeah, dude, that's the Bad Mothers. And
Follow them on Spotify.
let's follow them on Spotify. But thank them again for the amazing intro, and of course, that was edited by our homie Rocky from
760 Redline Studios,
Redline Studios,
where all your recording dreams come true.
where they come true. Okay, so this is Hot Mike on the Line, and we are live, of course. Today we have one of our frequent guests, and I like to call him more of a co-host at sometimes, whenever we get a chance.
Yeah.
Our fucking schedules are crazy. Our air medic, Sergio Cardenas. Greater than before.
It's been a couple years, huh?
No, really?
No.
Yeah.
Dang.
No.
The last time I was here is at least a year.
Yeah.
At least. But it's
wouldn't
probably
doubt it.
closer to 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, dude. But I mean, you're back. We were chatting it up not too long ago, maybe a few months ago. How we bring you back? And you've been busy, been fucking working
Yeah.
like a perro. But we'll
Mhm.
get to you in a minute.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it.
Yeah. We do have a little segment called Word on the Tier, Palabra Latina. And unfortunately, we do have a Word on the Tier that it's not very good news. It's all over the place right now. Danny's about to elaborate on that. Go ahead, Danny.
All right, so I'm reading from an official release from an agency, a state agency. So unfortunately, on July 17th, CDCR lost a parole agent who was killed in the line of duty at the Oakland parole office. Bird was Joshua Bird, PA1 Joshua Bird, was shot at the parole office, and he was transported immediately to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. So I'm just going to read a little bit more about his background. Suspect was arrested shortly after. He was 40 years old, dedicated more than a decade of his life to public service. He began his journey, like so many of us, June 2014 as a cadet at the Basic Correctional Officer Academy up in Galt, and he served honorably as a correctional officer at a California medical facility, rising to the rank of correctional sergeant in 2020. He began his career in parole last year, and it says here that since state parole was enacted in 1893, this is the first time that a parole agent has been killed in the line of duty.
Jesus.
So, yeah, like I said, in 2024, he continued his commitment to rehabilitation and public safety by joining the Division of Adult Parole Operations as a parole agent assigned to the Oakland Parole Unit, a unit that I understand is short-staffed. They're always looking for people to work in that area. It's obviously not the best area. Prior to joining CDCR, Bird served with distinction in the United States Navy, so he was also a veteran. So obviously, heavy hearts. This whole last week, this whole thing has been kind of heavy on my mind. first in the line of duty death since 2018. If you go back to 2018, there was an officer, Gallegos, who was assaulted at Kern Valley State Prison, and he ended up subsequently passing away due to his injuries later on. And then prior to that, you have 2005 Manuel Gonzalez, who was stabbed and killed by an inmate at California Institution for Men. So yeah, very very heavy hearts. Everybody in the department. I know I have a lot of friends, as do you, Ariel, friends and colleagues up north. People who worked with Joshua, and obviously, very very upsetting, angering, everything, everything. Very very emotional in general. For me, it hit home. My brother worked many years in parole, and it's a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job. Somebody has to be out there to supervise these guys. And like I've always said, rehabilitation is not for everyone, and unfortunately, some of these guys go out to the street and continue their evil ways. And it just sucked that this had to happen. So he leaves behind a wife and kids. I understand as well. So there's a couple GoFundMe's, and there's a couple of fundraisers that have been put out. So we'll try to do our best to put those on the page. I know for sure I can speak to the T-shirt from Side Action Apparel.
I was about to say that one, yeah.
Yeah, Side Action Apparel is a company that's owned by a good friend of mine that I went to high school with. He's a veteran and also a law enforcement retiree, prior law enforcement, and so all proceeds from those shirts are going to go to the Bird family. So yeah, that's the word on the tier, unfortunately, but just wanted to make sure we all acknowledge that.
Definitely a tough moment. As far as the noise that's been going around, we can blame politically what's going on, why did it happen, what could have happened. I think it's, I mean, I'm even surprised I'm gonna say this, but I think it's something that happened. Unfortunately, can these dudes that aren't supposed to be getting out, be monitored, or can we extend their time a little more? A little, are we releasing them prematurely? Possibly, but I know there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of pointing fingers, but I don't think that's the time right now. This is a time for healing for our department, especially for the Bird family. Because honestly, I had this whole rant played out about our department and some of the decisions that they've made. Trying to not even trying how they have watered down point systems and probation or parole opportunities. It's just numbers. It's just ways that our department are finding so they can manipulate the numbers so the department can look good on paper and say, hey, what we're doing is working. But this is a good segment to say it's not working, because what's the other word on the tier? What's up with the California model?
It's being scaled back dramatically.
It's being gutted. So I don't want to go all, turn this into a whole California model segment. That's episode 54 on our podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. We have a good hour and a half about the California model and our thoughts. And it's funny because we kind of hit a home run on that one, dude. Now that it's like, now I'm looking back in hindsight, it's
here we are, right?
we're like, hello, we told you, but whatever. We're not here for that.
If I had $1 for every time,
Told you so.
yeah, I mean, I'd have a good solid 20 bucks maybe.
25 cents.
What do I know, right? That's the way I say. What do I know? What the hell do I know?
What is now?
Only been doing this for a minute.
And
What the hell do I
sometimes
know?
work there.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes. But we're here with our episode. This is going to be solely focused on Sergio, who decided to, I guess, go. You went on this journey.
get some help. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was help. Yeah.
But before that,
Yeah.
we
Let's
did
get a quick recap
a little
Yeah,
recap.
an update.
It's
for the people who maybe didn't go back and listen to the show, or maybe they'll go back and listen to it
Yeah,
now.
maybe. Yeah.
Right?
yeah, and
So
if
just
you're curious,
The last time I was here, I had broke the news that I wasn't flying for Team Red anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Okay. Yeah.
was-
So
That
and
was
then-
that was happening around that time. You really
Okay.
couldn't talk too much about it. Not sure
and
where you're at
had
with
I-
that
had I-
now.
Yeah. So had I started flying for Team Blue?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You hadn't started that.
Yeah. So that must have been like right after, right? Or like, yeah.
And then I want to say, was that the same episode where you talked about your dad? Or was that a different one?
That was a different one, I think.
Okay.
that's the grieving. or
Yeah, that was a
Grieving.
different one.
That was-
Yeah. So
that's
my
the
perspective on a lot of that
grieving.
has changed as well. So
Okay. Good.
so what's happened since then? So I did leave not by my own will employment, right, at Team Red.
The
the-
time frame.
So
that was in
May. So May 25th, around that time,
Of what year?
around May of last year. That's the last time you were on our show. And
Okay,
those
yeah.
we were just kind of like
catching up. So
talking bullshit.
I guess the year before that, so 24, so 23
uh-huh.
is when all that happened.
Yeah. So we were
August.
the episode is called Riff Around and Find Out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that 1 week, it's funny because I re-listened to the show and there's a lot of good shit in it. Like, not to say that we don't say a lot of good shit, but you have a lot of good things to say in the show. So
Oh,
those of you that have not listened to it, hopefully you guys get a chance to listen to it. It
Yeah,
is
go
on
back and
audio.
check it.
Yeah, it's good. I think I showed it to a buddy of mine who was like, "Hey, dude, I haven't listened to your show." We had a long drive.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't listen to our shows as soon as I upload it because I keep listening to it over and over,
Yeah.
editing or whatever, and I gotta upload it. But it was a good show. I thought
Nice.
so.
Nice.
But yeah, May of last year was the last time.
Yeah, so then I think I had already went to go see one of my friends that put me through breath work, right? I don't know if you remember that. So I'll just go, so kind of recap. So 2 years ago, essentially, I got let go from my job. Details are whatever everybody wants to make them, but basically, when you stand up and say the right thing and voice safety concerns, and they fire you, there's a problem with that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
that going around.
whatever, right? So I ended up leaving, and now currently I fly for Mercier, out of Imperial. Basically the same job I was doing before for a different company. Rules a little bit different, and all that kind of stuff, but the mission's the same, really. And I'm happy there. So that's that, right? And they don't really fuck around with safety. They follow the process, not like the other company that I thought was gonna have my back, and they didn't. And I was there for so many years, right? I was there for 14 years. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that stuff. So what happened is, so I worked there. I also work at the college here for the nursing program. I help with the simulators. So there's a sim team where
Wow.
we have like simulations, big old high fidelity simulators, and we put the nursing students through that every semester, right? So there's at every basically point in your nursing career, you should rotate through there, and we're ramping that up more and more. And that's here at the college.
So what's
Like
a
a-
simulator? Like,
Like a refresher.
So it's like a mannequin, right?
Okay.
But these are high fidelity, so you can start IVs on them, catheters, put chest tubes in them, intubate them, put them on the ventilator, manage their blood pressure. They can show responses to blood pressure with treatment. They're
What-
like super real.
I'm perverted. First of all, remember we talked about the whole
Uh-huh.
butt thing for a long time, but when you say mannequins, I'm thinking like the high end, like those
Sex
those
machina.
steroids, those doll. Do they look like that? Like are they
Very real.
They're
Wow.
realistic. I've
Yeah,
actually
very real. I mean,
seen
you could tell it's a mannequin.
that
honestly.
Megan Fox type?
Oh no, they're not that good.
No, what's that movie that
Yeah.
the robots and shit? Not that good.
Yeah, no, well, they look real.
You know what's a good mannequin if it's made in Japan? I don't know. Some reason. Okay. I don't know. I have a visual. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Anyways, so I do that. Where I help with
Just
it.
so you know, and let me ask you this real quick, just because I had the opportunity to see
You did
a
you did a CPR one of them?
no I saw a top notch facility at Loma Linda. Have you ever seen that one?
Mhm.
Yeah. So is it like that on a smaller scale? I imagine just because
That's
it's
a
the valley.
larger scale.
Really? Than the Loma Linda one, correct? So this one had like it had several bays,
Mhm.
like an ER,
Yeah.
and then they have like one-way glass, and so the controllers are behind the glass, and they're the ones on the
We have that.
computers doing so
At the college, yeah.
yeah, so they
So,
so they'll
for a
like
community, obviously it's not that many rooms, right? But
Yeah.
it's big, right? And I mean they have, well, I guess I should say we have the top of the line simulators, like task trainers. We follow the person in charge, Dr. Lerma. She's got some certifications within simulation education, right? So she's really kind of the tip of the spear when it comes to that kind of stuff, the education piece, right? And really setting up the parameters and the bumpers for the students and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm the dumb one. I'm the hands-on guy. I fill them up with stuff, and then I run the scenarios, and kind of the day of, if I'm there, because I'm part-time, right? I manage the scenario, for example. Sometimes I take lead and all that kind of stuff, but really the brains behind all that is her.
so it reminded me a lot of alarm response,
Mm-hmm.
right? But for like a medical ER setting, because they had role players and everything. Do you guys do that too? Like with
Yeah, so we'll
like
have a
family?
mom or a
Yeah,
dad,
the mom
family
come
member.
in
Yeah.
and they have the student has to explain to them
Yeah, so
what's going
before,
on with
when
their
you
loved
like,
one.
even for flying,
like-
right? Like, when I've been doing simulations twice a year since 2009, right? So both companies do the same thing, right? Um, there used to be a time where you would come into a scenario and you'd have a mannequin or whatever, like, hey, this is the condition. You have somebody giving you a report, right? A fake medic or a fake nurse or whatever, and then you'd be like, I'm checking the blood pressure, and
Mhm.
then the blood pressure is
Right.
120 over 80, right? There's
Well,
no,
that's mine, that's mine.
there's no more of that.
Nothing else. It's all real,
It's like, you want a blood pressure,
real
go take it,
time
because you can check
because
it.
you can control it
And
from the
if
computer.
you say that it's wrong, then you're gonna go down the path because it's wrong.
Yes, Ariel.
Everybody nowadays is fat. Do we have fat simulators?
We do.
Okay.
Obese.
We have pregnant ones. We have babies. Yeah,
They can make the baby be born from the
Correct.
computer.
there's a thing called uh, augmented reality or whatever, right? So you put on these glasses.
Oh yes, I see.
And you see through the belly. Do you see the baby moving inside the belly? And then
You put goggles like VR, and
Yeah.
and you go into the room, and there's like it's like a
Like an ER
plane
bed or whatever.
crash scene or something, and so there's lights and the sounds of a plane crash and fire, smoke, the smells, everything,
Mhm.
and they have the goggles and they have to go and freaking do wound care or like
Yeah.
triple C type stuff. It's pretty
Yeah,
badass. I didn't
advanced.
know they did all
It
that
is.
stuff here.
They didn't have that when I went to nursing school. Tell you that right.
And this is here and provide
This is here.
knowledge. Wow.
Nice.
And you can get it
You're
from
talking about the number one, number one ranked nursing program.
better than Blythe? Than Palo Verde, I mean?
What?
Nursing program?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hands down. 100% success rate on NCLEX.
Wow.
No one can say that.
I'm about to change
But
fucking
there's a
No,
river,
it's
but there's a Colorado River near in Palo Verde, so that takes it up a notch because then you
No,
have
I
river
thought that
parties and
yeah. I just heard from friends that it's a little easier obviously to get into that nursing program because it usually I mean
Well, there's more seats, and everybody wants to come here.
yeah. But now let's be real. What type of people go here?
What do you mean?
Who gets into the nursing program?
So
If
a couple
you
of things. Now the program has expanded, so there's a lot more seats available. It's growing, right?
because when I was going to IVC, the only people that are going in that program, not to offend anybody,
here we
because
go.
you got to be broke, and you got to be from the other side of the border.
Nah, that's not true.
That's what it was.
Well, no, because no,
Fake news.
I went. I mean, I went
Maybe
to-
it's changed now.
I graduated from that program in 2004,
How much
2005.
did it cost you?
Me, $150.
Fuck. That was a book that I had to pay for.
'Cause I
Or
had to get
fucking-
grants and scholarships.
No, I was too dumb. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
And that's the truth. $150. I worked my ass off, and I got a loan.
Isn't college free now?
No, I got 2 kids in college. I'm paying for it.
No, I mean like IBC.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
That's where they're going. I'm paying out of my pocket. Yeah,
Why? Why you paying out of pocket? You paid 150.
because I'm not broke. Apparently, according to this fucking state.
Yeah.
In practice, I'm broke. I'm broke every day. But
That's no simulation.
yeah, yeah.
Simulation.
We are.
That's amazing to hear. That the Imperial Valley provides that.
Yeah,
Because-
it's grown a lot.
Yeah.
So from the last, again, from when I went there to now, it is dramatically improved. Not only the consistency, but the quality of education there and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then now that there's more seats, we can pump out more nurses, hopefully, with the same quality. That's the goal. That's why it's been so slow going to
Mhm.
growing, because the dean there didn't want to sacrifice quality, right? So
And now you.
now
you
we're
call it-
not sacrificing quality,
That's
but
cool.
but now we've ramped up enough to have
Yeah.
enough tutors and educators and all that stuff to be able to facilitate that and ensure success too.
There's a CEO that was working First Watch just to go through the nursing program, and now he does both.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the fuck he does it, because first of all, like, you're working as an officer already, in a prison where it can get pretty
Pretty hairy.
stressful,
Yeah.
and now you're working in an ER. Because I saw him working in the ER. I'm like, hey man, what's up, dude? He's like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, well, fuck, you fucking finished. 'Cause I remember him telling me years back,
Yeah.
going through the
That's
program.
cool, man. I mean,
Now we
second
start like,
life, right? Second career.
yeah, and I always thought like I can do that. And then I have this book that I bought like 4 months ago. I have not opened it. I haven't even read it. I can't.
Just play on it.
Yeah, I can't do audiobook because I have a ADD, and it's like I'll
Go
listen-
walking.
Huh?
Go walking and listen to a
Go
podcast.
walking. I probably can do that because I've been walking, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. Kill Tony's one of my favorite ones with the jokes and
Yeah.
shit. Anything that that has to deal with stupidity, I can do.
Yeah.
But if it's smart, I can't do.
That's
Okay.
cool.
So that's one of your jobs. You're teaching at IBC.
And then I also work at a pain clinic where they implant spinal cord nerve stimulators. Yeah. So I do the monitor sedation there. I mean, it's part of my job essentially. But I only do that every once in a while. So again, that to say, because that's going to tie into the rest of the story, is when I lost my job, right? I went and I not only like lost my job, but I went backwards in pay, right? Because now you're starting all over step one, right? So 14 years backwards in pay, right? So that's kind of the stressors that I was going through when I first lost my job. And so then what kind of the end piece of that is just kind of trying to catch up everybody up. So because I was going through a lot of shit mentally at that point, right? At first I was like mad and like motivated, fuck this, man, I'm not gonna let them win.
Right.
And then the noise calmed down, the adrenaline disappeared, and then reality hit, right? And so my wife was scared, right? Like, what are we gonna do, right? Because we have a house, and again, we weren't like financially overextended, but now we're in a better financial position because we paid attention after the fact, right? So that being said, I called my friend Lena, which used to be my partner flying, and she had gotten into breath work and meditation, and she had already been doing yoga and like Reiki for like a long time.
Can you explain breath work?
Yeah, so I'll get into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely get into
Okay.
it. So then she got into that, and I would watch her stuff on social media, her updates, and then I saw she was in Peru, and then she went to Costa Rica and all these things, right? And her and Mondo, her husband, and her really good friends with my wife and ours, right? And so I called them. I was like, I had been calling them actually for months, trying to make him. And she's like, "Come over to the house, come visit." And I would find some fucking excuse to not go, man, right? And then when this happened, I called, and she's like, "Hey, like you're going through some shit, right? But have no doubt that this is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you, right?" And then she's like, "It might seem tough now, but just it's a part of the process. Like you're gonna fucking come out on the other side way better, right?" She's like, "It's gonna suck for a long time, but it's gonna get better." So and I was like, well, she was saying some shit that I needed to hear, and then she's like, "Hey, come over to the house, stay as long as you want, and just enjoy the property, get in the sauna, get in the cold plunge, and we'll do some breath work, and we'll just talk, right? She's got some things right in her business because she built her business there, their property, and so she has a lot of tools available, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I told my wife, hey, let's go, and she's like, no, 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 you got to go on this journey by yourself. And so I went.
She told you that.
Yeah. So she was like, I think you should go by yourself.
So, so if you had to put a label on it, right? At this point in your life, if you had to put a label on it so that people understand, depression,
I was absolutely depressed. The
depression,
lowest I'd ever been in my life.
anxiety.
Lots of that.
Okay.
Lots
So
of anxiety, lots of depression, lots of ruminating thoughts, right? And a lot of the anxiety was in like, the emotion that most men are really comfortable with is anger, right? And so that was coming out, right? Resentment, towards everything. My like I loss of identity, right? Like, so that's the thing. That's what sent me down the spiral, right? Because I was like, I lost my job, no big deal. In my mind, I was like, I'm not just a flight nurse, right? And then I'm like, cool. So what are you? Didn't have a very good answer.
Hmm.
Right? And I'm like, that's weird. I never really just considered myself a flight nurse, right? Like my entire life, I was not trying to be that guy, that old guy in the on the force, right? The old
Yeah.
guy on the force was like bitter and fucked up and been doing it for so many years. I was not trying to be that guy. And I didn't think I was. And that shit happened, and I was like, cool, well, then uh, okay, I gotta be I'm a good dad, right? At least. You look at that honestly, you're like, maybe not so much. All right, cool. So then if I'm not a good dad,
And,
not a
what
flight
made
nurse.
you feel like that? Like you because of what you were feeling, you were withdrawn
Well,
from the kids,
I
or
was
just doubting yourself?
hypercritical
Okay.
of my errors in raising my children,
Okay.
right? Because no one's perfect. You're gonna fuck it up, right? But at that point in my life, I didn't acknowledge that I had messed up. I didn't acknowledge that I'd made mistakes raising my children, right? And then so the next question that came was like, cool, so you're not a good dad. You're not a flight nurse, but you're a good husband. No, have not been a good husband, right? I have been a terrible husband at times. I've been, I could have done so much better, right? So that fuck, when you put all that anxiety and all those ruminating thoughts and you pair it with despair, you end up in this fucking dark hole, right? And for me, it was, it took a long time, like a long time, to acknowledge how dark it was, right? Because I was so good at ignoring. I was so good at ignoring my feelings and my thoughts of negative self-talk, essentially, right?
Mhm.
I was so good at ignoring those because of my job, because I've lived in this high adrenaline environment for so many years, but you compartmentalize so you can get through it, so you can get to the next patient
Right.
and the next patient, and then next thing you know, you have a fucking closet full of luggage that you've never unpacked, right? So you can't fit any more luggage. So the whispers now become roaring tsunamis, right? It's really loud. So then when I realized that, I was like, fuck, I need some help. And the first person that I thought was her,
Okay.
right? So I called her, and so I went there, and then I had done like a breath work session with her when I was in Mexico, right? I'd remotely, like via Zoom, and I'll kind of get into it here. Um, but it didn't work because my mind was distracted. Right, we were on vacation. I kind of showed up because I had already told her I was going to show up, and all this kind of stuff. So then I wasn't really mentally giving myself space to accept that thing. So then when I went there, um, I met her brother Noel, and he's the one that led this breathwork session. So we do this breathwork session. It's like an hour long, and I come out with this like in tremendous insight, right? Like I couldn't talk. I was off, like I was like super hot after the fact. I was like drenched in sweat. I was fucking like hot. Like
Were you in
just
the sauna?
no.
Oh.
We were in this air conditioned tent. and I was like, we're breathing for like, and like I was just hot, man, and I was fucking vibrating, and I couldn't speak, right? And Lena's like, do you want to share? And I'm like, and then she's like, I'm trying, but I can't get anything out. I've got a big old goose in my neck, right? And then she's like, it's okay. I was like, I'm trying, but I can talk, right? So then I finally get the words out, and like I had this tremendous vision, like the entire time that we were, because I talked with her and her brother and Mondo for like 4 hours before this breathwork session. I had so much to offload that I just diarrhea of the mouth, right? And so what happened is, kind of teased out why it is that I took this role as a protector my entire life, provider. Why is it my responsibility to care for these people? Like, why did I make it so much of my identity? Not so much this flying thing, but why did I care so much about serving people in that way? And so I untangled a lot of that. And in my mind, when I was going through this breathwork session, there's a time, which probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds at the most. Um, it was I had this vision of me sitting at a dock. You can see the silhouette of my back and my grandma, and in the background is a still lake, right? And she's holding my hand. And the crazy part is that I could feel her hand holding my hand. I could feel the warmth in her hand, and I could feel the wrinkles in her hand. My grandma had been dead since like I was 13, 12, 13, right? And then I was like trying to ask questions, and boom, it's gone. And then you come out of it, and that's why I was so emotional, right? So then that was the door. That was the door for me, right? And so then we talked a lot. We tried to meditate. I fucked that up. Because there's this thing called hape, which is you snort in the Amazon jungle, right?
It's called what?
Hape
Happy.
with an R, because Brazilians.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay.
So it's rape.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said earlier rapey or something like that. Is
Yeah,
that
it's hape.
yeah, but it's pronounced
It's
hop
hape.
because the R's are
Yeah,
H's in it.
and so anyways, I
Most
did it
of
wrong. It's supposed to ground you, help you ground and then meditate. I did it wrong, and I fucking puked, right? She's like, don't, make sure you don't swallow your spit. If anything, blow your nose out and spit. And I was like, and I had my eyes closed, and I remember telling her, like, I had my eyes closed, and I could feel you get disappointed. Oh, you fuckers, like,
So you snorted happy.
yeah, but so it's a synthetic version of it, like a think like nasal cord or like some sort of nasal
Okay.
spray, right? And again, these are just things that help you meditate and that kind of stuff, tinctures and oils. And I know I'm coming off really hippie, like, to the viewers, fuck yeah, like I don't care.
Dude, I'm thinking of what's that movie Zootopia?
Yeah,
Oh,
When they walk into that what's going on there? He's
yeah,
fucking you know what I mean? Like
the eyes get all big.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But what was cool is, like, go to the bathroom or whatever and try to throw up, and her house is like a modular home or whatever, right?
It's a
That
tree.
that she
What
that
is
she
it?
redid, right? Her and her husband, they redid, and so they turned the music on to not hear me yakking, right? Because I hadn't eaten, so there's nothing coming out. So I'm just like,
Just
Acid.
and like, hey man, you're safe, you're good, we got you. Whatever you need, man, just do your thing. Cool. Kind of closes the door, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta use the restroom. So I'm on the toilet, on the sink, on the toilet, on the sink, and then like nothing coming out of either end, right? But I'm just like, it just too much too soon, right? But through that experience, because they had the music on, I was able to like have this like meditative moment, right? For the first time in my life, I was able to, like, whoa, like I could, again, I was at the right time in my life to accept all this stuff, right? So that all
so
happened.
through the music and the dry heaving and the retching,
Yeah.
you have
Think of Richie Valens, man. When he goes to visit his
Yeah.
tata and the right.
tata.
So
Yeah.
it's just an experience, right? And never in my life had I been so vulnerable with another human being. That's not my wife, right? Just people in general. And at that point, I was vulnerable with all three of them plus a stranger, right? For the most part, and so I was able to just unload a lot of things off my chest and through the conversation combined with the breath work and then this meditative experience, right? So never in my life had I been there. So I was able to do this. So then um the next day,
Prior to Hape, so never as a child you ever taken like some sort of mental enhancement drug,
the
marijuana,
most I've ever done was
shrooms,
probably smoke weed.
smoke weed.
That's the wildest I've ever got.
Okay.
And no, I had never done mushrooms or Molly or any of that shit.
I don't
Nothing,
think
man.
Molly was around or two, was it?
Las tachas? Tachas de perico?
That's just
I mean,
No, but it'd be,
that's just a
maybe in
downer. That equals an upper.
yeah.
2000s,
But
maybe.
never, right?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I mean, this started to become a party drug like ecstasy, that's
Right,
all
yeah,
the same
yeah.
shit, right?
There were rave parties and shit.
Oh yeah, MDMA, right?
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I had never done that, right? So then, uh, this was like super eye opening. I was like, fucking, like super spiritual, right? Like not religious, just spiritual. And then, she's like, go shower or take a bath. Mondo gets the bath ready, and it's like I get in there and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know how to take a bath. Like I'm fucking. She's got literally a book, bathing in the forest or some shit in the room or in the bathroom, and I'm sitting there I'm like, this is dumb because my mind wants to keep going. My mind is like, go 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 go. Self care isn't really a thing.
Yeah, you still hadn't fully accepted.
Oh no, that comes later, right? Way later, right? And it's still a work in
You're
progress.
still fighting it.
Yeah, right. So many years, and activated that it's really hard, right? So then, um, anyways, that I bathe. I tell them the story. They're laughing, right? And then she's like, "Hey, sleep, go to sleep. I got this weighted blanket, and she's got a super comfy guest room, dude. I love sleeping on that fucking bed. I was like, right? And I get up early, like on my own with no alarm. The birds are chirping. She lives out in Temecula, right? Her dogs are running around. I was like, fuck yeah, man. And she's like, you ready? Okay. Second phase, right? She put me through everything that she had. So we do this thing called the Lucia light, which is, she has this room that she kind of set up. And so she has a vibroacoustic bed, right? Which is not just a speaker. Like it's not a bed with a speaker in it that thumps the bass. That's not what it seems from the outside looking in. That's what it is, but it's not. What it is, it vibrates at different frequencies.
Okay.
She puts these noise canceling headphones on you, a weighted blanket, and this mat that's over the top that has like heated crystals, and it heats up at different parts at different times, and all this stuff. And it's supposed to be super healing, right? So then this light, you're laying down with these headphones on, and then she's like, "Oh, there's three levels of this, like, low, medium, high. We're gonna start you off at low for I think 2 minutes or whatever it is, or whatever, like an intro dose, right? And so this light flickers at different rates, different intensities, but it's just a white light. There's no color, right? And so if you get scared or whatever, something happens, you're laying like this, the light's shining on your head. So all you gotta do is go there. It's over. Super normal, right? But your eyes are closed. And then the music's going. So she puts it on low, and I kind of, start to see like shapes, like frames, and then maybe like a little bit of color, not nothing crazy, right? But I could feel definitely as the music was increasing, the frequency of these frames was increasing. So it's almost like a roller coaster, right? Kind of, oh shit, how you doing? I'm doing fine. She's like, ready to go to medium? Yeah.
So the bed is vibrating at different frequencies along
Yeah.
with the music, or its own separate
Yeah,
thing?
with the music.
Okay.
Right? So the music is also at a different frequency that they call them binaural beats. It's like neuroscience. Don't ask me exactly what the fuck that is because I don't know. But
I think
frequencies,
binaural means like
what
it's separated
correct?
between the like
It's the two
stereo,
sides.
like
Yeah.
legit stereo, like so you
But they're
hear.
different frequencies, right? So there's some subsonic, super, like, that kind of shit going on, and all gamma and theta waves and all this kind of stuff, right? Again,
You getting all this?
you're writing it down, right? So then she puts it on medium, and then eventually on high, right? And dude, let me tell you, like, it's
Blanket?
no,
Oh, the music.
the light,
the whole experience.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a
light,
track
the
essentially
music,
with
I'm still
the
stuck with the vibrating blanket.
yeah, the light. No,
the bed.
the bed.
The bed.
But it's not like you feel like it's like it's not what is it, a Sibian,
Vibrator?
Yeah.
It's not that, bro. It's like sometimes you don't even feel it vibrate, but
Yeah,
it's
because
vibrating.
it's such a low frequency, you
Exactly,
don't
right?
even it's imperceptible by you,
But your
like
brain knows it's on.
what you might feel. What is this?
It's not that bad.
Is it hot? Because if it's not hot, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
I want some hopping now.
So anyway, um,
um,
we
yeah, I'll do this better. Well, hold on, I had a
she
quick
turns
question
on. Oh, sorry.
before you went on. So this is just my brain thinking. I'm not like trying to
Mhm.
debunk it or anything, but I'm just trying to make sense of what you were experiencing. So it's probably it's something that you have to obviously get used to, and it's probably a little disorienting because we're used to hearing sounds.
Well, you hear the music.
We're used to hearing things in stereo. So to hear a
Well, feel 'em.
frequency here that's different from what you're hearing on this side, your brain's like,
Well, that's
what
just
the
it,
fuck's going on
right?
here, right? Like,
So because all of those waves, right? Vibrations, whatever you want to
Didn't
call
give you
it.
anxiety?
No, it was actually
So
the opposite,
wow.
right? So what that does, it turns on and off different parts of your brain because science, right?
okay.
That's really what it is, right? You can try to explain it. I don't know how. I mean, you need a fucking neuroscientist to
Yeah, I'm just trying to make
explain
sense
it.
of it with my
But
high
it
school degree.
turns your brain on and off, and that's the whole purpose. Because paired with the light, right? People sees when there's flickering lights. Well, that's because of science, right? Some shit that triggers some shit in your brain and
Okay.
you start seizing, right? Well, these different things also turn on different parts of your brain, combined with the music and the vibrations and everything. It's making connections. It's repairing axonal issues, you know, synapses where the messages can't get across. An example, if it could repair a connection where you prior stored all of your traumas,
Or you disassociated
you
something.
correct, and it's rebridging those connections, maybe you could access that later. That makes sense? So that's what happened. All this shit, and I'm like flying through space, and I was like, that was fucking cool. Right? And that was like the coolest experience ever. Then she puts me in the sauna for about 20, 30 minutes, and then I jump straight into cold water.
That's a long time.
Yeah. 20, 30, and then back in the cold plunge. And that also later I learned that can also rebridge other nerve centers and all that kind of stuff, right?
Physical or mental?
All in your brain.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it does other stuff, right? Other health benefits. The sauna decreases mortality by 50%, well causes, and brown fat and all this kind of shit.
That's why he's so healthy. He's been doing a lot of sauna.
Well, the sauna.
It's like
Then
the
it's-
steam,
Yeah.
right? So, excuse me. So I go through all this, and she gives me a bunch of homework. She's like, "Hey, you need to journal," and she gives me a bunch of tips. So I start. That's when I really kind of get into journaling. And months later, I go back for another experience, and this time it's different, right? The experience is different, right? Can't get into the details, but read between the lines,
Okay.
right? So, um, in this experience, I am able to really untangle tons of parts of my life where I've previously was too stubborn to look, maybe, or really just, uh, didn't really want to feel that kind of pain again, right? So, um, the result of that was me journaling, giving myself tons of grace, figuring out that I wasn't perfect, right? And that I'm gonna make mistakes, but the beauty is in making the mistakes to get better. So I was able to get through a lot of that shit, right? And then fast forward to Father's Day, I think it was,
Of this year?
of that year
2024.
I guess 24. Yeah, 24. And I had somebody I started looking into psychedelics and all this kind of stuff, right? And so I took a mediocre dose of mushrooms, right? And I had
Did you take it like liquid, or did you took like
they
actual
they
shrimp?
look like the Smurfs house, yeah.
They're brown.
I don't know. Smurf.
Like on the east side.
But let me get back to the breathwork.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's
What is breath?
walk
I know. You keep saying that.
Yeah.
Like breath work. I'm just thinking like a
through that.
pregnant woman,
Lamont. There's something to be said about that. Yeah.
There's a reason why it works.
Yeah.
The who?
Lamont.
It's Lamaze.
Are those
The breathing that you're doing.
breathing? Yeah.
I think I met an officer named Lamaze. Or
Oh, was she pregnant?
Lamaze, yeah.
Lamar's torta.
Lamaze tonta. Okay.
So the breath work
So
happens
breath
in
work, what
in
is
the
it?
first your first visit,
Yeah, that was like my introduction to the
right?
the
And that's where you
sweet-
feel just from breathing.
Before
you
you
feel
get
all these
into the
physical
breath
effects.
work, I'm sorry, like this been in my head. Going back, you talked about how there was a lot of issues, how you thought you were okay working. Well, this is my perception, right? Because you're in a job where it's first responder, there's a lot of trauma, just like any other type of first responder, where it's law enforcement, firefighter, EMT,
Mhm.
medics. There's a lot of trauma. And I imagine you build a hardened shell, and your thought is, this is what I'm believing or thinking. Your thought is, my family is cool because they are financially well, because this is what I'm doing, and I'm putting myself on the line for them. That's basically
That's exactly it.
yeah, that's like what I'm
to a
gathering.
T.
I'm dumb. I have to dumb it down like even more.
It's to a T. Yeah.
I think we spoke about this 30 minutes ago, but I just
No.
realized it.
Like
Yeah.
when I really sat there and thought about it, and then
Yeah.
my kids are older now, right? So
Yeah. Because you said you missed a lot,
exactly, right?
and
But they had everything they needed.
yeah, so you feel like that was hey, you know what? This is how can I say that this is the exchange. You got everything you needed, but I'm absent because I'm providing.
Sort of.
That's how you. I think that's how you justify.
You
it.
justify
Yes.
it to yourself in a
Yes.
sense, but I
Yeah.
think that there's more than that, right?
Yeah.
Culturally, right?
I
Couple
like
things.
that. I like that culturally.
Yeah, culturally, you're a man.
Speak. Yeah.
You're a man, and sorry to all the females, and if you disagree, I mean, good luck getting me to care. But the reality is that we live in a culture, and we grew up in a culture that the number one emotion that is accepted by men or from men is anger, right? Because you gotta have something, gotta have a belly in your or a fire in your belly to go and get it, right?
Mhm.
Whether that's go to work, protect your family, you gotta be ready, you gotta be available, you gotta be capable,
Yeah.
right?
Number
But
2 is laughter. Laugh it off.
yeah, right. Well, just don't care about it, right?
Don't care. Laugh it
But
off. Everything's a fucking joke.
but the reality is that if you were to meet, if even us here, right? Like rewind 5 years ago, right? If you were to meet a guy on the street that you meet for the first time that is emotionally available and open and connected to his feelings and his emotions,
Gay.
you see it as a weakness,
Yeah. You're gay, dude.
and that's the world that we live in,
Yeah.
right? And that's the world that we grew up in. So when you grow up like that, and you're in your mind that what a man is supposed to do is provide, protect, right?
Mhm.
Mainly, there's never a talk about being emotionally available there, or emotionally vulnerable, or emotionally intelligent. There's none of that. So that's the first thing, right? You grow up in that environment, and then you grow up in an environment, right, where maybe, caring for your patients and taking time off for yourself to recover mentally from a traumatic event is frowned upon. Oh, he's weak. He's calling in sick again. He's a fucking mental health day.
Yeah.
He's in the wrong job, right? And a lot of people believe that, right? And so it gets to you. So either you sink or swim in a sense, right? And you create this show, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when you ask a dude that you know is struggling, like, "Hey man, how you doing?"
I'm good.
I'm good,
But you see them and
but
you're
they're
like,
not good. You know they're not. You know they're hurting. But how do you get them to open up,
Yeah.
right? And so I've learned that in my experience that there's a lot of reasons why I turned out to be the way I am, right? A lot of them are good, a lot of them not so good.
masking, maybe.
That's yeah. So
Yeah.
we call it armor, right? You
Yeah.
wear this armor, put it down, like like it's funny that I just mentioned armor. You're talking about this mask stuff. So at the end of the second experience, the vision that I had in my mind was I looked up and it was like I felt real, right? So like I looked up at this house up the stairs, right? And now that I've gone through all these things, I'm getting better, right? I see my wife at the top of these stairs, right? And she's looking down on me. I'm at the bottom of the stairs, getting home, right? And all I could see is like a samurai getting home from war. Okay. Battered, beaten, bruised, broken ribs, torn armor, swords all bloody, fucking just disheveled, right? And I walk up these stairs and I kneel down in front of her and I take my swords off and I put them away forever, right? That was in my experience, my mind, that was me letting go of all the shit that I carried on for 40 something years and saying, we're starting fresh. I'm a new person. And I've changed, right? Go back and listen to the last episode. You can tell.
Yeah. Of
Right?
course.
And so how did I get there, right? Is the question. Well, breath work, right? And breath work is it's it's somatic breath work, soma of the body, right? So in the wild, right? When you see, let's use a gazelle and a cheetah, right? The cheetah grabs a gazelle, right? They have this adrenaline dump so they can, uh, you know, fight or flight, right? Or freeze or fawn. That's also a sympathetic nervous system, adrenaline rush system response. You guys have heard these stories where people just freeze, right?
Mhm.
That's not
Amygdala.
correct. That's your brain firing off and saying, I gotta make a decision, I gotta fucking run for it or go or charge towards it, right? Or fucking play possum to see if I survive. Right? So when you see that in the wild, let's use a gazelle when they play possum. They're being dragged across the fucking savannah by this cheetah. Something happens, the cheetah lets go. They run away, right? The gazelle splits, right? Or the cheetah gets scared away or whatever, and then you see the gazelle shortly get up and like shake it off.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen horses do this too, right? Like they shed. Well, that's the completion of that emotional cycle. As humans, we don't do that. So we could cry, we could yell, we could shake, right? That's why you see kids throwing tantrums because they're letting go of all that energy that they just experienced. This event that they just experienced is traumatic in some way. And so they're letting go of it, right? So as humans or as adults, when we get a little bit, or we learn this, we learn to not do that, right? So how do we complete that? How can we get back into that, tap into those things and complete the cycles of those stored energies, emotions, whatever, right? Well, by breathing, right? You use your body to stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, and then turn it off by stimulating the sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system, slowing everything down, and that's by breathing. Think about when you're about to, you guys are in high energy environment sometimes, right? When you're ready to charge, you're leaning forward, your nose is open, and you're mouth breathing.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to fuck somebody's world up. But when you're on the other side of that, resting, calm, you're in your castle, right? What happens? Nose breathing, right? That's why they tell you if you want to calm down, in through your nose, out through your mouth
Mhm.
slowly, right? Because that activates different parts of or different portions of your nervous system. So we do it intentionally in like rounds, right? About 8-minute rounds of breathing through your mouth, breath holding, again through your mouth, breath holding, and then you flip it on its head and you say, in through your nose, exhale slowly, and then exhale, and then hold your breath while your belly's it. It's hard, but it does something where it allows your body and your mind to connect, and your heart just kind of cracks open. And there's no right or wrong way to really do it, right? Because you're being guided through this, right? And there's no right or wrong way to have the experience, which is, which is amazing, right? For me, that was the door to diving into myself, figuring out what I did wrong, and then learning from that mistake, right? Not holding grudges or whatever against myself. Like, since I've been through all this, I've learned to appreciate my parents that much more, right? Because I don't have my parents. Both of my parents are dead, right? My mom died in 2011, and my dad like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? And so I've gotten to understand them more now after my experience than I probably ever did my entire life knowing them.
Wow.
Right? So all that to say, right, is that I went through this stuff, right? And what I decided in that second session with Lena, right? I was just kind of sitting there quietly, right, before we even started, and she's like, "What are you feeling?" I was like, "Oh, I'm good." Armor, right? Immediately. And she's like, "Hey, you don't have to do that shit with me." Oh, right. She's like, "You don't have to do that shit with me. We're partners, man." Ah, sorry.
Disaster strikes.
I'm trying to.
Just like that, he loses his shit.
Nah. Cheers, pretty.
What are you doing?
You're good, dude. Just put it on the table, yeah.
Yeah, just breathe
Yeah.
in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Yeah.
He's just stand by one, folks.
Oh, yeah. I like that better. Oh, here we go. What?
It's crooked.
Let's hit it back. That's actually better, dude. I love that.
That's good. See everything.
Yes. Even.
Wow.
Yeah, an epiphany. Sorry. Anyways, so, where was I?
Lena told you to not do
Lena
this?
said, "Yeah, you don't
Oh,
need
yeah,
to
yeah,
put your
but
arms on."
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, what are you thinking, man?" Like, and I was like, I got this like little burst of confidence right when she said that, and I was like, uh, I'm destined for something great in my life, right? And then she just like, yeah, yeah, you are. And she's like, how does it feel to say that shit out loud? Right? And I was like, that's the first time I've ever said it out loud with anybody else in the room. Well, it feels pretty fucking good, right? Because I finally was able to say something nice about myself to myself in front of somebody else. Like I was able to accept my own compliment, because that was so difficult for me to, hey man, thanks for saving my mom's life, and you're an angel sent from the heavens. Yeah, thanks, man.
Just doing my job.
Do my job, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And so it was so difficult to accept compliments, right? So then it's no wonder that after all this experience, and there's a tons more right in the last 2 years that has happened, right? But I just finished my breathwork practitioner course. So right now I'm finishing my practicum, which is 8 sessions, these hour-long sessions of breathwork that are free of charge, right? I have a group on Sunday. I did one yesterday, got a couple more. And so um coming to a Instagram near you is I'm gonna be doing this kind of the hope is to grow it to be a full-time gig and leave that world that I'm in, right? On my own terms, right? And then just, Sergio 2.0,
Nice.
right? So yeah. So that's what I'm in right now. I'm going to Austin next month to do the in-person. Um and yeah, so that's where we're at. Breath work. Do it.
So
Breath
much.
work.
It's so much. So much. So many things. Where do I start? So, So when you're going through all these experiences, I'm sure I'm trying to think of questions people might have, right? So,
Well,
uh,
in the tactical aspect of it, breath work is
like combat breathing.
yes.
Yeah, and I was gonna say some of the
Yeah, box
parallels.
breathing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Breathe,
you
relax,
know,
aim, stop, squeeze.
I think of your famous block yoga,
Black
right?
yoga.
He would say when we're teaching these guys how to shoot, and we would tell them, they're
This
out
is
there,
block
they're
yoga.
nervous, they're shaking, and he would tell them, "Hey, Glock yoga, everybody in through your nose, out through your mouth, stand by,
Mhm.
threat." Right. So,
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
people. So I think a lot of people, especially in our line of work, they don't want to. We talked about the armor. We talk about how they don't want to open up. They've got this wall, this facade, right? And traditional therapy of going and sitting and talking with somebody is something they're so against because they have to. They're forced to open up, right? In a traditional sense where they have to say, "This is what I went through. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm feeling with," whatever, right? So when you're going through all these things, when you're going through the breath work, or when you went through the Lucia light, um, she's not like asking you questions and going through
She is.
so is she, so she's kind of talking you through it, but is she delving into those old
So
memories
yes and
or
no, right?
okay.
So you got to think about it this way, right? It's a spiritual path that you're going down, spiritual journey, right? And the reason why I say that is because tribally, right? You think about the tribes that lived here for many years before the Europeans,
Mhm.
Hmm.
right?
Passing that
They
peace pipe.
Yeah, but it was a circle, it was community,
Hmm.
right? We've never really dealt. We're people are tribal, right? That's that's our thing. That's what we do. We run in tribes. Well, why is that? Well, it's because when Ariel had a problem in his TP back in the day, right? All of us would come over and say, "Hey, man, what's up?" And then we would talk.
And this hot box is shit.
Well, not so much, right? Because there's other stuff that they
Yeah,
do.
it was like a sauna. It was hot rocks and
Yeah, but that's not all they did, man. Like that's, I mean, that's yeah, they do temazcales.
But it's communal, like you
peyote.
said,
It's
it's communal.
communal.
People,
It's
there's
can the community, the tribe, come together to help, right? They're not solving the problem for you. That's that's a different way of thinking, right? They're helping you come up with a solution by being there present. What do we call that nowadays? Holding space.
Mhm.
You'll hear therapists and wellness folks call it holding space, right? But it means something different when the people that are doing it for you are there for your own good, not for their own benefit. There's always this kind of agenda behind stuff, right? And so if you're able to find those people that can hold space truly, non-judgmental, all these things, and then genuinely be curious about you, the person in front of you, right? The answers are all inside of you. The answers to all of your problems are within you. All you need is somebody to hold space and ask the right questions at the right time.
Okay.
That's it. And you're gonna untangle your own thoughts because, you know, I've been married for I've been with my wife 26 years, right? She probably knows me the best compared to anybody in this world. But even her, right? Even she doesn't know me like I know me, right? So she can only ask so many questions, and I have to be able to ask questions of myself sometimes, right? And answer them honestly within myself, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you untangle those things, right? Conventional therapy, I've been through that many times, right? Um, I don't know if I don't know where I went wrong, but like a lot of the therapists that I've seen, their goal was never to really help. It was more to
Treat. Not treat, but
label, maybe, you know, maybe I wasn't giving them enough information because I didn't feel safe or heard or those kind of things, right? So maybe
we're
it's on
gonna have
me.
to have 8K in here and talk to you,
Right.
bro. Because
Yeah, I mean, but see, but the thing is that the more academic side of that is trained in a way to say, hey, you're dealing with this. Let me give you some exercises. Let me give you some tips.
So it wasn't very. There wasn't a human connection. Maybe
There
like is that
was,
what you felt?
I mean, with a couple of them, but
Because it was like I mean, from what I'm
but they're
gathering
doing the
is
job, right? They're taking notes. They're doing other shit, right?
yeah.
Because there's a legal, you know, medical legal process, and if you're going through your insurance, or you're going through a claim, or you're going through whatever, right? Well, the lawyers told me I have to go to therapy or whatever, right? Like that kind of shit, right?
Mhm.
So it's different. They all have a different agenda, right? Not a single one is vested in you never coming back.
Damn,
Not a single one.
he's gonna ruffle some feathers.
I don't give a fuck. It's true. It's true. Not a
But
single
it's true.
one is
I mean,
being every single one of those people gets paid, right? I don't, when you go do breath work, you're not coming back because you have a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks. No, you're going back because you got some more shit to work on, and you're enjoying the community, you're enjoying the group, you're
mhm.
bouncing ideas from the tribe, right? That's what you're doing. You're not sitting there recounting your deepest,
Secret.
shameful moments,
Yeah, and that's what I was
and
gonna.
and then they're like,
You're
well, why do
traumatized.
you think they're still with you?
And that's
Fuck,
what I was gonna ask you
I-
too. Like the questions are like,
yeah.
do you? It's
Well,
didn't nothing ever felt intrusive, like asking you a question that you're like, oh man, I'm not
No,
sure if I can
it
talk
was
about
more
that.
of a mirror.
You're already going through
It
it.
was
Like,
so you've
more
been
of
to
a-
therapy.
Yeah,
You've been to therapy.
yes,
I have not been to therapy. So you guys can speak on that
I think
aspect
it
of
has
it.
a place.
it
So,
does.
so
It,
during this time,
it,
when I was going through my thing with, my psychedelic experiences on my own, and going through breath work and journaling and all stuff, I was seeing a therapist,
Mhm.
and I would like slowly like, "I did this weekend."
Drug addict. Okay.
He's a really cool guy. A 70-something years old, retired black dude. Super cool, man. Super
But your
cool.
therapy is this face to face or is this?
It's on the phone. Like I could Zoom him. I could go see him. I could do
I'm
whatever.
gonna go off a little bit, right? Because through our work, we're in what's considered a rural area, right? Not a lot of people want to talk to people on the phone. Not a lot of people want to Zoom somebody, right? They want to see somebody, just like
That's the ego. That's the ego saying, I need real therapy. That's what that is.
my sister-in-law, bro.
That's what it is.
My sister-in-law. I don't know how she does it. I don't want to put her business out there, but she is like works for a call center or something like that, where she talks to people, who are going through some shit,
Mhm.
and I'm like, fuck, I don't think you ever took a class in some sort of psychiatry, or you don't have a diploma, whatever. But she's in this call center, so that's how I see it. I see
But
it like, okay,
let me
I
put
see
back
it.
on that a little bit. Do you have to have some sort of training?
I don't think so. I
Do
think
you
you
have
just
to have experience? You have a lot to offer me,
absolutely,
and I don't know.
yeah. I just feel more personal if I was to speak to somebody,
And that's fine, right?
you know.
You can look for that, right?
Uh-huh.
What I'm saying is that it's not mandatory for it to look a certain way
Yeah.
for it to be beneficial. That's this image that we all
Yeah.
usually people that come up with that argument, right, are people that have maybe not given therapy a real shot, or maybe people that have not even gone to therapy, right?
So
mm,
my fight is
mm.
I get a
Very
call.
interesting.
I got a call years back, 3 maybe 4 years ago. Hey, I'm going through a hard time.
Mhm.
And as a peer support
I
member,
remember this.
right? As a peer support member, I'm like, dude, here's our employee assistance program. Fucking here's all the resources. Call the number. I called the number. What's up? I they told me to go online. I went online. Cool. What's up? They gave me a reference number. And this is when I'm saying what's up, this is like days.
Yeah.
weeks.
It's a process.
You know, it's a process. Months go by. This person doesn't get a call back. They don't have anything. The crisis is over. Do you know what I mean? Like, this person could have potentially offed himself, herself, killed himself or herself, whoever, you know,
Yeah.
They them.
they, them, she, he, whatever. And and that's like my thing, like, dude. So anytime that I would go up north to train, I'd be like, hey man, like, what's up with this? Well, you have to call the Wayne Hunter number, and then they'll get back to you, and you'll see somebody on a Zoom call, or okay, we don't even have fucking that. You know what I mean? So your the person that you're seeing, are they available to anybody?
Yeah.
How does this work?
Oh, so you just you find somebody, right? Like there's all these. I mean, that's a big thing now, wellness and mental health and breath work, right? You can go on to a website. For example, the place where I'm getting my training at, right? They have a locator, so you can put in your state and address or city or whatever, and you can get your breathwork practitioner that's
Mhm.
in 100 miles, 200 miles,
So you punch
right?
in
And
our zip code and
but
it's
again,
like
they could be Zoom, right? It could be so
"Oh,
go to
my goodness."
somaticbreathwork .com and you can look at there, right? But what I'm saying is that there's um these Zoom sessions. Imagine it; they could be one on one. They could be a group setting. They could be a group a session for 5 to 10 people, right? So the the fact that yeah, you want somebody in person, yeah, go for it. Go look for that, right? Go experience that in person because it's beautiful, right? But I can tell you now, being through all the things that I've been through, I've done Zoom sessions, I've done in person, I've done workshops, I've done self-guided sessions by myself, right? And I could, now report back that I can actually get close to meditating, right? Like it's a thing, right? Like I journal I try to journal every day. Try to give myself and sit in silence for 5 minutes, nothing disturbed. I get up and I cold plunge every morning. I sauna multiple times a week. I sit and I enjoy what I fucking have, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so what I'm saying is that there's multiple modalities, and in order for something to work, you have to ditch the idea that it has to look a certain way. We all say, hey, you know what? I know I'm working a lot and I haven't had time for the family, but once I make this much money we can go on this trip, then I'll stop. And it doesn't stop. And then it doesn't
Yeah.
stop. And then next thing you know, your kid's 21. And where was that?
Yeah.
It's too busy fucking.
But I took you guys to Disneyland
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that one time,
I don't remember.
right?
So this is right. I was talking to my wife and she's like, remember that one time we went to Disneyland? I was like, yeah. And I was talking about like a different time, right? And I was like, wait, we went to Disneyland like back when the kids were this old? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't fucking remember any of that.
The zombie years.
Right? That's what I'm saying, right? So like
Yeah.
life is moving, right? Life is moving. And you have to be able to really change the way that you look at things,
Mhm.
because if you look at them the same, they will remain the same.
I could relate to the what I refer to as the zombie years, because uh when I promoted to lieutenant, I realized I missed a lot of years of my son. I realized I missed about 8 years of his life. I was home. I was providing, but that wasn't my priority. My priority was the overtime, the, promotions, the being at work or whatever. So when I realized that as a lieutenant, my priority was I have 1,600 hours in leave time. What's up? Like, yeah, ego, huh? Yeah, I'm like, look at all this leave time that I have. And so as a lieutenant, unfortunately, it took me this long as a lieutenant. I realized I need more time. It wasn't because I was in that position, but it was because I realized my son needed me, who has a different learning ability. Uh, mildly autistic and all that. And I realized my wife is taking a big fucking toll. Like she has been doing a lot, still does
Mhm.
a lot. I had to give up her career to uh be able to provide for my son so he can keep up with the rest of the class and the rest of the reggies, as I call them, right? The regular kids. Uh and I saw that, and I saw the pain. I saw the absence, you know, and I started taking this time off, and now I get this label of, oh, he's a piece of shit because he's always gone. He's taking vacations. He's taking this. He's taking that. But I'm like,
So, are this something that people are telling you?
no, I know, and this is happening to this fucking day. You know what I mean? And that doesn't bother me though. It does not bother me one bit because they don't know.
Well, nothing's worse than the story we tell ourselves.
You know, they don't know. They don't know that I've gave up so much. They don't know that no matter what I do, where I'm at, what position, what label, what job, I'm gonna give it 100%. But one thing that I was failing, and I was not giving 100% was being a dad, number one, and more importantly, a husband. I was not giving it 100% in those areas. But CRT, 100%, job, 100%, training, 100%. I wanted to be that guy. You know what I mean? But I was not that guy at home.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I have all this fucking time banked, because my mentality was, well, fuck it, I'll retire 2 years early. I have all this time saved. I get to enjoy my family when I'm 50.
When I'm 50,
'Cause, yeah. Do you realize the insanity of
that's
that?
crazy. Yeah.
That's
Well,
insane.
that's what I'm saying, right? Is like once you have this epiphany of like, dude, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Right? Like things really change, right? So you're able to look at your life and actually appreciate for the first time probably, right?
Yeah.
Like the moments, right? The fucking goofy mistakes that the kids make, the simple things.
Yeah.
They freaking scratched your car door or they ripped their pants or whatever. Like
Scratch my door. I'm fighting.
well, you see what I'm saying? Like, but you're able to experience it, right? You
Yeah.
live through it. Whereas maybe before you weren't really doing that, right?
No?
Because you're in it, in it, in it, in it. And so, one thing that I was able to, I've had all of the things that I've done in the last 2 years, right? Whatever, yeah, 2 years. Um, I've not held back a single detail with my children. I've told them everything. And I call them children. Right? My son's gonna be 21. My daughter just turned 18. Like they're not babies.
Those are adults.
Yeah, but when
Mm.
they heard, hearing for them, hey, like one of the epiphanies that I had, right,
Yeah.
was like, how they tell you, uh, that as a man, right, like one of the happiest days you'll ever have, or the most memorable days in your life will be the day your children are born, the moment you hold them in your hands, right, in
Yeah.
your arms, and a lot of people smile when you tell them that. A lot of people, their heart fills up and they get really, yeah, fuck yeah.
True love, as they say.
Yeah, right. I look back at those moments in my life after, like, when I was analyzing my own life, and I realized that I hadn't really soaked it up.
Wow.
Right? I realized that when I went back to that moment in my life both times, my heart wasn't full of love, and I wasn't like, I love you, right? I didn't feel it. And I was disappointed in myself that I couldn't do that because I was so wrapped up in everything else achieving, being, all this pressure. Like I'm the first one in my family to go to college. I'm the tip of this fucking spear, man. And you're so busy doing that you forget. And once I realized that, when I told my kids that, my son was like, "Wow," right? And my daughter was more hurt. You didn't love me, and it's like, no, 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 no. It's not that I didn't love you. I loved you,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't feel that because it was too fragile for me to break.
So do you think it was, I mean, you think it was everything going on in your life at the time, distractions, other things like
I think
all
that
the
could,
responsibilities,
yeah,
like it wasn't so much like, oh my, I love my kid. It was like, all right, cool. Now I gotta fucking do this. Now I gotta do that because now I have to provide for this kid
yeah.
or
So,
some like,
when my son was born, like I think he was born like on a Friday, Thursday, something like that. By Monday, I was back to work.
damn.
You know what I mean? My daughter, maternity leave, what? Or paternity leave, what? No. Sorry, man. Hey, mom, you get to go home? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to work. Well, fucked up, man. Like it's sad to say now, right? But
Yeah.
that's the way it was, right? And I think in my mind, if I really dive down into that, it was fear. It was fear of not being able to provide for them, fear of breaking that so fragile life. Like really, like I was afraid I was afraid to be a dad, right? Because I had seen so many examples around me that were terrible examples of fatherhood,
Yeah.
right? But in my mind, like my dad did it right. He did a lot of shit wrong. Don't get me wrong. He did a lot of shit wrong. But when I look back at it now, right, like he had his own struggles, right? He had his own hardships and shit, right? So like the reason why I raised my kids the way I did, right, is because I thought I was doing it right. And I was coming from a place of love, right? Well, do you think my dad was fucking like, fuck you, I fucking hate you, boy. I'm gonna raise you like this? No. He also loved me. And he thought he was doing it right.
Yeah, he was doing it the way that he thought
But yeah,
was.
but imagine if, he would have had, I don't know, 1%, 5%, 10%, just that much more love in his life growing up. Would he have been a different dad?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like we would, right? So once I realized that, man, I was like, no, I've got to be honest with them. And I told them everything, all my experience, my epiphanies, when I did I did a super heavy later on, uh, like a pretty heavy uh dose of psilocybin, so mushroom, right?
Mhm.
What'd you call it?
A hero psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
That's the active ingredient of magic mushrooms, and it's so I did it. What's called a hero dose, 5 grams. It was incredibly scary, but at the same time eye opening, right?
You
Like
have some now or
that's no, they're
Calm
illegal,
down.
buddy.
Calm down, Mario.
with Mario?
Super Mario, because he freaking
What's Mario Lopez? Like I've been seeing that he's been getting canceled. I'm like, what are you doing shrooms or something?
But so I've told them all those details, right, of all those experiences, right?
Yeah.
And so because there's tons of learnings in that, and you entangle a bunch of shit, and then you have epiphanies days later, and all this kind of stuff, right? So I've unlocked something that I think I want to get way deep in, right, and help people find their way, right? Like for me, like I mean, you saw me. I'm talking. I get all lit up when I'm talking about it. So
Mhm.
passionate, and my career, my regular career, is kind of taking a back seat because of something that probably strikes home. Is like I don't want to trade my time for money anymore. I'm at a point in my life where I evaluate what's valuable to me and then do that, right? So if I go to work and yeah, maybe I don't work any overtime, but you know, the lights are on and we have food on the table, the rest of it's gonna take care of itself. Like, fuck it. The goal isn't to, have a boat and have all these fancy cars. That's not the goal anymore. The goal is to enjoy my fucking family, man.
to be present.
Yeah, to truly fucking enjoy loving my wife and loving my fucking kids and loving my fucking family and my brother and my sister and all that shit.
Loving this podcast.
Yeah. Like I'm a fucking different person, man. I I'm able to be there for some friends that were going through some fucking really hard shit, in the last couple months. And I was able to be there, man, like in a way that if I would have never gone through that experience, getting fired and going through all that fucking those dark times, I would have never found this version of me.
Mm.
Right. And so, I always tell Lena like I'm incredibly thankful to her, Noel, and Mondo, because they fucking unlocked something in me that just woke up this fucking dragon, right? Because I want this is what I want to do now, right? And so when it comes to work, that's the finite timeline that's coming to an end, right? I'm at the call. I have these 3 jobs. At the end of this year, I don't suspect I will have 3 jobs, maybe one, and that's just the way it's gonna be, right? Like I'm doing things now that I rather trade my time and energy for that I fucking want to do. If hey, let's go to a concert. Let's go. Let's go. Like I
No,
would,
that's not.
I wasn't like doing that
I'm
before.
like, I can't remember last time I've been in a
You're like,
concert.
oh man, I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Oh, I got.
I can't get the time off.
Yeah, we got this camping trip coming up in 8 months. I gotta work now. It's like now I'm like, no. We just came back from vacation, right? That's why I'm so chubby. My cholesterol's up.
Quarters.
My cholesterol's fucking through the roof. Too many margaritas and cocos on the beach.
It's a lot of salt, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But we went for 11 days, right, to camping, and we took our kids, and for us in our mind, it's like this is probably one of the last camping trips we'll have them all together, and little kids sleeping in the trailer with us, right, because they've grown up, right? So it was super cool, man, to go on vacation and then enjoy my wife. Would get up, we'd fucking go walk on the beach. I make her coffee, tuck her in her little camping love seat, and I'd go, cold plunge in the ocean, man. Like, fuck, man, that was amazing. Doing breath work on the beach with my daughter, right? Having human conversations with our friends, and just being there and fucking loving every fucking moment of it. Even the times where we all get snappy at some point, right? Like we're that cramped up in the trailer for so long. Like, yeah, but it was fucking cool, man. It was cool. Um, and so like next month we're talking about like parking the trailer down there for like 2 months, and me and her.
San Diego or
No, it's in Rosarito, like outside of Rosarito. It's in
where it's cheaper is better.
yeah,
Same,
but
same beach.
yeah, but we're gonna go down there and go on my 5 days off and come back to work on my
Yeah,
days, or take time off. I don't fucking know. See.
Damn. That's
yeah.
it's a lot to take care, man.
It is.
Jesus.
It
It's
is.
a lot to take in because like a lot of us that have a steel, stone, concrete wall, it all sounds good. It sounds great. You know, we're happy that you're in that journey. Um, a lot of us that have been seeking a an avenue, an opening for that type of journey, will probably shut it down immediately just for the fact of saving face of their peers, the family. So,
Hmm.
uh,
Well, I think at some point you have to let go of that. That's when it's gonna work.
sounds easy.
No, I know, no, yeah, no, incredibly hard. I agree with you there, right? But I think what I'm saying is that
We just can't be like, let it go, let it go. You know, it sounds easy. Obviously, I think you were in a pancake of unfortunate events with things happening to you that eventually led you to, hey, here's door number 3, take it, bro.
Mhm.
And you took it, and it helped you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whispers became a tsunami, right?
Yeah.
Right, and so I'll give you kind of a paradox version of that, right? So like my brother, right? My brother was in the military early on in we're twins.
The 20.
Yeah. So he was in the military, right? And then I think he did like 8 years or something. I don't remember, right? And then, right, so then after that, he's been out, but he's been working for the government and all that stuff, right? So he went to war and came back, and he's dealt with some issues, right? Um, the whole hardened piece, and that's just he saw some stuff, and he's been dealing with issues, right? And when I talked to him about my experiences, right, he was genuinely curious for the first time, and he was like, he said he told me this. He's like, wait, I've had 20 something years to through time slowly knock down those walls because I'm not in that environment. I'm not adding to the basket anymore, right? He's like, I'm slowly kind of work through that, and I've had 20 years, and I'm still working through it. The wall's not completely down. He's like, what you have done, he's like, you've taken a fucking bulldozer, knocked the wall down, and you have no idea what you're gonna fucking find back there, right? He was like,
which can be scary.
well, that's what he said. He goes, that's scary for me.
Yeah.
He goes, and so he goes, so to anybody that is telling you that, that's the fucking pussy way out, or fucking why can't you do it on your own, or whatever,
Why can't
Yeah.
you just man up?
fuck them, right? He goes, because that's what it took for you. He goes, and you're still in that world where you're still adding to the basket, right? He goes, that's fucking crazy. Look how much you've gained, and you're still there. And I'll tell you, like, it's changed my approach at work. Right? Like after one of my experiences, like I went back to work, and this super young guy died from the flu, right? And so super young, like in his early 20s, right? And so we were there. We didn't transport him, obviously. So the ER was a mess, right? Everybody's like not a fucking dry in the fucking ER, right? And I'm looking through this, and my partner's like, "All right, man, let's go." I was like, "Hold on, man, like, chill. Let the fucking thing breathe, man. Like let it breathe, right?" And I'm like looking around, and I see a bunch of the nurses around. They're working, and they're doing CPR, and somebody talking to the family and all this shit, right? And I look at them, and I remember telling my wife, like, I saw myself at every single stage in my fucking career around that bed. The fucking, hey, let's get it done. The fucking
Yeah,
go
yeah.
getter, the hard charger, right? And then the person that was fucking pretending to be fine, but they're not fine, right? And then the doctor, right? The doctor is like having a fucking hard time talking to the family, and I could see his distraught, but he's keeping his shit together because he's talking to the family, right? So I saw myself, and I was like, fuck, what if I could prevent them from being this? Like in my mind, it immediately, right, happened.
Yeah.
And so then the call ends, we get canceled, all this stuff. They're talking to the family. Family comes on the scene, right?
Mm.
So then I told my partner, hey man, give me a couple minutes. Let me go just make sure everyone's fucking cool. Would have never done that. Before I would have like later, deal with it.
Yeah.
So I go, and there's a bunch of the girls that I was working with like months before, and I was like, hey man, you guys did a fucking amazing job. I know it sucks, but you guys did a great job. I'm proud of all of you guys. And I walked out. Someone would say, well, why the fuck do you get to be proud of them? You're nobody. Yeah, okay. But I'm somebody to myself, so I don't give a fuck. Right?
That's what I was gonna say. You're you,
Not me.
That goes a long way though.
and
In
you
any
genuinely
job,
felt that.
Yeah.
yeah, in any job, a simple thank you, a simple good job, it goes a long way. And people recognize that. And then they're always gonna remember that. They're not gonna remember your name, maybe, whatever, but they're gonna remember that face. Hey, that gray bearded guy say,
But they
good
could
job.
but they could also be like, oh, that was fake.
Well, like how you, or like how you were, right? When you're like, I'm
Exactly.
just doing my job.
I'm doing my job,
I
man.
don't need you to thank
That's
me.
because I wasn't.
But let me ask you this, like, so
When it's genuine, when you feel that
Yeah.
heart connection, right? That's called attunement. That's a thing. Attunement, right? So
yeah.
I can sit here and
Attuned.
hold
Yeah.
space for you, and I could hear some of the vulnerable stuff that you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And I could be like, that makes me feel sad for you, like truly sad,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Or happy, or whatever, right? That's because I'm here with you right now, and I could feel that energetic, you know, emotional vibration stuff, right? When you say something and you mean it, right? The heart string that pulls, right? They can feel it too. That's the thing, that they can feel it too. They can feel. Think about when you've been somewhere, and somebody that you fucking care for deeply or have a ton of respect, and they give you a hug, because maybe you lost somebody special or whatever, and you feel that fucking emotion just kick you in the nuts.
Yeah.
That's attunement, right? So I went over and talked to the doctor, and I was like, "Hey, man, you okay?" And tapped him up, gave him a hug. And I was like, "Hey, man, you guys did an amazing job. I know it sucks." He's like, and I told him like, if you fucking need anything, man, you need to talk, call me.
Now, in those
Right.
situations, you're providing your services, saying call me, all that. Is there an actual service provided for these nurses?
So each facility has whatever they have, right? So like a hospital, for example,
Uh-huh.
they have EAP, they have their insurance, they have
But there's
they have
nobody.
employee
Is there
health.
anybody there though?
On site.
On
They
site.
can call in a chaplain. They can, they have. I think they have social workers, but those social workers aren't what you think. They're more for placement and that kind of stuff. It's not like they're like emotional support animals.
Yeah, they're not. They're medical social
They're
workers.
not. They're there to get services for patients and that kind of stuff.
No, what I'm saying is like,
So
let's say you're a nurse, you just graduated from IVC, it's your first day on the job, you're in the ER, you got the midnight shift, it's fucking Memorial Weekends, Glamis.
boom.
Glamis is a fucking mess. Bam. You have an accident, and your job is to treat the 6-year-old child who just came in that was riding in this fucking dune buggy with no helmet, and his head is, beans,
Grapes.
Crushed.
right? It's done. And you're looking at this, you're trying to help this child any way possible, whatever.
Some facilities do have something.
So yeah, so
And
like
locally, I don't know.
that's what I'm
At
asking.
least not that I'm aware of, but they could. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Police departments, they have their psychs, they have the shrinks, as they like to call them, right, or whatever it is. And that's always been my fight in our department.
Yeah.
It's like we're supposed to be getting. I don't know if it's this year, but we're supposed to be getting this mental health money, right? Like 1,500 a year to say, go look for help, bro. Yeah, okay, you're fucked up. Go look for help. Whatever it is, whatever that money
I
is
think
for.
they're trying to give it to you so you can do something, right?
Yeah, but whatever.
Instead of doing
Something
nothing.
positive, right?
Mhm.
Do we do it? Probably not. We fucking go and
Go to Disneyland.
go to Disneyland because that's not enough money. $1,500 is not enough for Disney here in California. But am I right?
What about Disney in Japan?
It's cheap. It's fucking cheaper. I seen it on.
No.
I seen it.
Yeah,
On,
the tickets.
I
fucking
seen it on
grand.
TikTok.
The ticket to get there's like $1,000.
Yeah, I've seen it on TikTok.
But yeah, so from my experience, most ambulance companies like that are professional ambulance companies, right? The big ones, right? And whether they're air ambulance or ground ambulance, they have some sort of support or peer support with a hotline you can call to get somebody. That's been the struggle. What you said earlier, getting somebody on the fucking horn right now to deal with the crisis,
Yeah,
was a problem. Not so much anymore because the world of Zoom.
yeah, and anybody
Right?
can get that
There's
job.
available
Apparently, 'cause
24/7.
I've seen it.
I mean, you can see a therapist.
What if I don't
virtually.
like Zoom? Like some people.
You need
You're fucked.
if you're in crisis, you need somebody to talk to.
I know. I'm
Somebody
just.
to-
I'm just.
They'll
No,
take,
I know.
they'll take it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
So here's my counterpoint to what Ariel says, and it's something that I stick to, and I will always say, right? So I don't. At some point, the individual has to take responsibility for themselves, and until they're willing to say, admit, I need help. Or if you're behind the brick wall that you would describe, right? That big brick wall, and you're just looking over, right? Looking at everything, but you're never willing to break through that wall. Like at some point you have to take the responsibility for yourself. Stop counting on work. Stop counting on the department. Stop counting on your company to provide you a psychiatrist or give you a therapist right now. Stop that. Stop worrying about all that shit and take some responsibility for yourself. Right? Like if you want the help, go and get the help. Right? So it's like a person with an addiction. You can't force a person with an addiction into rehab. It has to come
They
from
have to
them.
be
So
ready.
at some point, so I don't like that argument that a lot of people say, like, and to I hate to bring it back to
No.
our line of work, but the inmates, they want to do everything for the inmates. Well, yeah, that the department is in the business of housing and providing
Their bottom.
stuff for
That's their bottom.
like that's them. That's the department's business, is to provide
Mhm.
for incarcerated persons. Like, if I die today or tonight, my fucking job's being flown on Monday,
I'll be
right? Probably
demoting.
sooner.
I'll
Right?
be
Yeah.
demoting, and I'm
So he could get
job.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so stop thinking that the
I used to tell
department
people
has
you
this
could
responsibility for you. Do that shit for
no, they have
yourself.
responsibility to you as an employee,
Yeah,
but
for-
they're
to
they're
an
their
extent.
tenants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different thing, right? So, back to what you were saying is like, is it Zoom? Is it not, or whatever? Right? That's when the accountability piece. Excuse me. Some people aren't ready for that because they currently don't have the capacity to understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the devil we know is safer in our own minds, in our own twisted, convoluted mind, right? Is safer and better than the devil we don't know. Does that make sense? I'll just stay here because I know how this works.
Mhm.
I know how my mind is fucked up here. But what if I go over there and it's like, oh no,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
ah shit, hey man, I don't want to be the guy that's crying over there and watching, Ghost. Right? Like I don't want to be that guy. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's because we tell ourselves all these stories to justify the fucking truth of what's happening, right? And so the reality is that it's our own story, and sometimes it's old shit that we're carrying, right? It's shit that we never dealt with, or stuff that was passed down somehow, right? Somebody told me, and I forget where I read this, or maybe somebody told me this, but it was like, when you heal your issues, right? Like, um, you're not just healing yourself; you're going backwards in time because somehow some of those issues were handed down. And I know I'm gonna get all the people like, you can't pass down trauma. Yeah, yes, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay,
the hell you.
it's just a lot of people oversimplify it by saying like,
Yeah.
oh, generational trauma, and they're passed down, right? It's not that simple, right? But like, if you grow up a certain way, you're gonna raise your children a certain way. You're not passing down. You're Maybe you lived through something super traumatic. Yeah, maybe they don't get to live through that, but you're raising them like if they did. That makes sense?
I get you.
Right? So like when you are able to heal that and break that cycle and not hand that down, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing all those people that came before you because you're letting that shit go. Spiritually, ancestrally, whatever you want to call it, right? And a lot of people are gonna say, hey man, this motherfucker's on some hippie shit. Yeah, I am.
No,
Tough shit,
they're
right?
also human shit.
Well, the thing is, like, my mom was super spiritual like that. She was religious and all that stuff, right? But she believed in energy and crystals and
Mm.
all this stuff, right? And my entire life I made fun of her, man. My entire life I was like, that's some hippie shit, mom. Always,
Now,
always.
now look at
And
you
the
under
only
your
the
weighted
the
blanket.
person that fucking showed me the door to the second version of myself,
The
right,
hippiness.
was a person that couldn't be more like my mom if I fucking tried. Like Lena, like she's like my mom reincarnated, all into this shit, spunky, sarcastic, and all that shit, right? And but
So are we booking Lena or what?
Serenity Cove Temecula, look it up on the IG.
Serenity Cove?
Serenity Cove. She's
Not to
having a
be
workshop this
confused.
Sunday on ketamine.
I'm busy.
Not to be confused
Oh,
with
that's drugs. I like it. Let's go. I'm kidding, bro.
Serenity Now.
Serenity Cove Temecula. Look it up on the gram.
Serenity.
But anyways, so
all your trauma
but there's no
goes away. So, brand new one.
what I learned was like, you have people in your life, right? Because you think about where you're at in your life today, even if it's fucked up,
Hmm.
right? The one thing that you have to understand is like you are where you're supposed to be. This dark shit that's happening to you is a fucking lesson, right? Yeah,
From who?
the universe.
From whoever you want
The
it to.
fucking universe.
From whoever you want
You
it
can
to.
call it God, you can call it universe, you can call it yalla yalla. I don't know what they say, right?
Yalla
But
yalla. That's
I don't know, dude.
that's
Yeah, hurry up.
yeah, that's
Hurry up and buy it.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Yalla yalla. Yeah.
You know.
That's hey, come here, no?
Got you. It means a bunch of stuff.
But yeah,
It's like way in Spanish.
she's like, hey, wait, hey, yalla yalla. But you know, so you're where you're supposed to be, right? Doesn't matter what you believe in. You're where you're supposed to be. The one thing that we sometimes get caught up in is like, I'm special. I'm special. My life was so fucked up and so complicated that I'm going through this and I'm the only one that's going through this.
Mhm.
You're wrong. There's a lot of people like you that have lived similar experiences that have mentally gone to the same places you have and they survived.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they gave themselves permission to be imperfect. To be, hey, you know what? Fuck, I am gonna fuck this up. But what did I learn from that mistake? Right? It's really hard to see the light at the end of this fucking long ass tunnel that you're kind of dredging through, right? It's swampy and murky and there's obstacles in the way. It's dark. You can't see shit. There's fucking bumps in the road. You're fucking hitting your head on shit, right? And you cannot, for the life of you, when you're at the bottom there, see that there's a tiny little thing or that nothing lasts forever, right? So that's when, unfortunately, people, curtain call it, right?
Stop
They end
falling.
it. They end it, right? But if you have the resilience and the ability to say, hey, I'm going to get through this. There's a lesson here somewhere. Find it. What's the lesson?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I wasn't prepared financially for this, for abruptly losing my job. Wait, maybe I was a good dad. I just could be better. Oh, yeah, I fucked that up because of this, but I have my whole life to prove to my children that I love them, or not to prove to them, but to show them that I love them, and
If I didn't before,
help them,
from this point
Yeah.
going forward.
help them feel that I want them to be truly happy, not what their version, what they think dad wants them to be, so I can be happy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So when you start to flip everything upside down and you change the way you see things or ask yourself questions, you start to understand that the people around you are around you for a reason. Yeah, some of those are conscious decisions like, hey, I like Danny a lot and I like his company, so I'm gonna hang out around Danny, right? But what if Danny got a promotion and left to another state? Right?
Forget about us.
So the universe brings somebody else that you need to meet because there's something that you're gonna learn from them. And there's something you're gonna show them too. Right? When you really start to understand that and see that every moment in your life has been calculated, right? You understand that things are gonna be okay. Things will be okay. And unfortunately, when they are not okay, it's because people aren't present. People aren't able to see what's in front of them, right? I'm not judging any of those people either, right? Like, because we're human, right? We're fucking human,
Yeah.
right? But it's just sad that a lot of people decide that ending it is a solution, right? There was a moment when
By ending it,
when
you
I
mean
got
what?
fired. There's a moment when I got fired that I thought, I can't believe that people in that organization, I think the company's better without me than with me. Like I was like so fucking hard on myself, right? Because I fucking carried the flag so much, and in my mind, I motivated so many local talent here to come and work for this company, and I groomed so many people, and I wanted people to be successful, and I wanted people to be in that industry that looked like me.
But doesn't it piss you off that I don't think maybe you felt that way completely,
I
but
got there.
but
I was angry at first.
I think you're angry at people who can potentially manipulate that, you're being dismissed.
Well,
'Cause I remember you saying,
yeah. I mean, I was angry. I'm not
Oh.
angry now. I'm not angry anymore.
no, but what I'm saying is like sometimes like these decisions are out of your hand, and it's other people that have that control,
Correct.
right? And who knows what that person's agenda is to stop you from doing what you do, what you love, what your commitment is or was, your investment in time, in family, in money,
Mhm.
to just say, man, that's it for this dude.
Correct. And that's what I mean. Like I could sit here and focus on that,
Yeah.
or I can say, what's the lesson here? Because now that I'm on the other side,
Uh-huh.
financially, I'm more stable. Emotionally, I'm more present. I know I'm a fucking better dad. I'm a better husband. I'm a better fucking human being, right? So yeah, I could sit here and dwell and say, "Fuck those guys," and because of the decision that somebody made, and all, like I can be
Yeah.
mad. I could find reasons to be mad. I don't need help finding reasons. Yeah, it's a Tuesday,
Yeah.
but I choose to not do that because the lesson was all of this. That is way more valuable and more worth me spending my time on it than saying, "Well, I'll get worked up and listen to fucking
Yeah.
death metal
Yeah, it's better
and
than
rage."
going outside and shaking your fist
I've
at the
raged,
sky.
I've
Right?
raged for many years. It never did anything good, man. Got me in trouble a lot. And now I'm on this on the other side, and I look back at that tunnel, right? And the tunnel wasn't so bad. That's the thing, right? When you come out on the other side, you're incredibly grateful for the lesson. Like once you think about anything difficult in your life, just one thing, right? And think about how before you started on this path of this difficult thing, how in imperceivable it was. Like, oh, I don't the fucking mountain I'm about to climb, and then you're in it. You're like, fuck, I'm in it, man. It's real fucking tough. Oh fuck, I'm in it, and then you're over it, and you come out on the other side a better person or better whatever. Felt good, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Mentally, you can do that. Mentally, you can be in a better place, but you have to choose that, and you have to choose. And it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm this like I'm not letting my hair grow out and get dreads and wearing linen clothes. That's not. I still use deodorant, FYI, right? Like that's
What
not
what
I s- I'm wearing underwear right now. Yeah, like a yogi.
Yeah.
No,
It's,
but the big ones, the shaman looking dudes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, don't disrespect the shaman, bro. No, but you see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
It's it's all in your
it takes work,
yeah. It's a complete
you know.
different way of looking. It's a complete different perspective.
And a lot of people
You have to
don't
change your
understand. A
perspective,
lot of people
and
need to understand,
it's
right?
yeah. It's
Like I have some friends, close friends, right, where we're talking about this, and a couple of them are like, they start crying, like man, like yeah, man, they're happy for me, right? Like you fucking genuinely happy. And then I have other conversations with either friends or family or whatever, and they're like, no, you didn't.
yeah. That's fucking weird.
Everything's skepticism, right?
Yeah.
And so then, what I've learned to do is like, yeah, you're right. We don't need to talk about this. We can talk about something else.
Yeah.
How about the Raiders, bro? Or go Dodgers or whatever. Hey,
Oh my god, you're over two right now.
um, podcast is over. You see what I'm saying? So like people sometimes it's too much for them to accept this new version of me.
Yeah.
Right. And that's okay because it's not my problem. It's not my problem to make you comfortable about who I am. I lost that a long time ago. Right. And so once you're able to really kind of wade through all that, um, every day is a chance to do things differently. Every day you can get up. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I got up this morning at 6, got in the cold plunge for 5 minutes, went outside, sat in my new backyard,
Your yoga mat.
on a towel, stretched, moved around, listened to some music, journal for 10 minutes, looked around, the weather was good, and I was like,
It was a nice morning.
it's a good fucking day. What more do you need? Right? And my kids are both home, and my niece is with us, and my wife is home, and
Blessed.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I'm remodeling our bathroom, right? So it's not like I'm just like sitting there doing nothing.
No wonder he was so happy about the tearing out of the bathroom earlier, because I was like,
Well, it's not a
"Yeah."
voluntary remodel.
Yeah.
I know. You had a leak in the fucking.
And the ceiling downstairs before we went on vacation. So this was like July 4th.
Don't you have insurance? Goddamn.
They wanted $2,000. I'll fix it for 15.
Wanted $2,000.
Yeah. And then they were gonna redo whatever was there. So like, nah, I'm good. Upgrade.
I would,
Insurance.
I would get involved in some of this stuff just to have that outlook on life.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because earlier, did you see his? He's like, "Yeah, I'm redoing my bathroom," and then he showed us the fucking destruction, and he's like, "Check that out!" And both of us were like, "What, man?" He's like, "Look, yeah, it's got to be done." All right.
How
then.
many fucking.
That's
Yeah,
what I
the
mean.
lesson learned is to make sure there's no water dripping from your ceiling.
Yeah, so my wife was like, "Do you think we should get some quotes or
Should we get some professionals?
quotes? That shit's gonna be way more expensive than me fucking doing it. I fuck it up, and I redo it twice. It's gonna be cheaper."
The quotes, YouTube.
I have a buddy that's a plumber. I talked to him today. I was like, "Hey man, I had a question on some plumbing shit, right?" And he goes, I told him the same thing about her asking about a handyman and all that stuff, right? And she goes, or he goes, "You want me to send you a fucking ridiculous quote so that way you told her you got one?" Fuck.
That's good. That's really good.
But yeah, so I mean, and there's so much more to
Yeah.
do,
No, well, this is episode 1.
right? So like,
Many.
in my mind, like, I want to do all of it. Like I told Lena back then, is like this thing kind of breath work was the door, and I'm not sitting here promoting go do this and go no, like don't go and start taking MDMA and mushrooms and all shit by yourself. Don't do that shit. If you're gonna go
Do it with other
with
people.
somebody that's gonna help you
Oh.
set the tone, and make sure that you're gonna be okay, right? Don't go fuck around with the stuff because this shit's dangerous. You don't want to have a psychotic break. You can have that if you're not ready.
Mm.
But they are ancestral medicines for a reason. Like all the shit that's your lineage, it's gonna come back and show you what you need to see, right? And that's with ayahuasca, bufo, all this stuff, right? There's tons of stuff.
Wolfo?
Yeah, Abigail. Yeah, so it's
Wolf?
bufo. Bufo
Bufo,
was a
wait.
toad in Sonora.
Not a toad.
Yeah,
Bufo.
but they call it
Okay.
bufo alvarius. That's the name.
Not like the
And so there's
bufadora.
a gland in it. They squirt it out.
Yeah.
They dry it up. You smoke it. It puts you in a different dimension for 15 minutes or so.
I'm already in a different dimension. Like,
But again, I'm not saying you're pumping the drugs, right? What I'm
Yeah,
saying is,
the rage
to
dimension.
me, breath work has been the most consistent thing. But it's paired with other things.
box breathing and all that.
Yeah, that's an example of
Yeah,
breath work, right?
yeah.
You could do a daily practice. You could do these journeys that are an
Yeah.
hour long, and then resets, right? And that's what I'm going to be doing here in the next couple months.
So for the last, I think I used to do this for a while back in 2018, and I got into it again, dealing with some injuries. But I do follow a stretching program on my phone. And I don't know if you saw me in the gym today, Danny.
Yeah, I did.
I
You had
stretched
your
for a long
shoes-
time.
You had your shoes off
Yes,
at the gym.
I stretched for a long time, and my stretch is usually 25 minutes. Weekends sometimes 30 minutes, and the stretches are yogi-esque, but it does have
Yoga. Yes.
There's breathing.
yoga-esque. Thank you. It does have a lot of breathing, right? And the guy talking to you is like, "We're gonna do a box breathing." Box breathing is simply of breathing in 4 seconds, holding it 4 seconds. It could be more, it could be less. Breathing out 4 seconds, holding it 5 seconds, breathing in 4 seconds, and repeat for X amount of time. Because you're holding a certain stretch.
Mhm.
That is definitely relieving mentally, physically. I do feel limber, as they say. Uh, about a year and a half ago, I got rid of a lot of my equipment in my gym garage, and I decided to kind of build a recovery center. And by recovery, all I did is added a personal sauna and an ice bath. I don't have the fancy wancy ice bath you have.
Oh, I went all out. I got
Yeah.
a barrel sauna in the garage. I got a 4-person sauna in the backyard.
Oh, four per. No, I'm sorry, the ice bath one.
Yeah, I got that too.
That's
That's what I'm telling you.
You
I,
have a 4-person sauna.
I invested a lot of
That's
money in myself.
$7,000 for both. Easy.
Doesn't care about money anymore. He's
I know.
fucking squirt bullfire in his mouth.
I manifested it and it came true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm just comparing, my sauna is an individual sauna and it's a steam sauna. And my little ice pod, I need to fucking put like 40 bags of 20-pound
Nice.
fucking of ice, right? But I will this weekend, I will buy the cooler,
The chiller?
the chiller.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I will buy the chiller because it's already too much money on the. But I did tell you today. I'm like, hey, I jumped in the sauna 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
jumped in my fucking ice bath 20 minutes. So that's something that I've practiced for a minute. And it's all because of research and Joe Rogan
Mhm.
and all these other fucking, famous people. Because if you're a guy, you want to start pumping testosterone, if you jump in a cold plunge, it raises your testosterone.
Yeah.
And if you do it frequently, you're gonna realize that your testosterone goes up when you go do your blood work. So that's why I'm starting to do it. But bro, it's 115 degrees down here. It took me 3 ice bags,
How cold
and
does it get?
I go 44, 46 today. 44, 46.
Yeah, if it's hotter, it's fucking hard to get it down.
Yeah, I love to have it at 36, but it's hard, dude. So the way in my little fucking cold plunge, I gotta put the 2 ice bricks first, right? I freeze them, the little ice blocks. I put them in there. It gets like a cool 72.
Shit. It's fucking hot, man.
I know.
Yeah, it's hot here, That's
Yeah.
that was a struggle, yeah.
Yeah, and then I put the next 2. It gets like a cool 68, and then I put the fucking ice bags, and then I gotta jump in.
Why aren't you moving inside? That way it's in the AC.
Come on, man! I got a wife. We're gonna get mad. Fucking.
It's right there in the kitchen.
It fucking it pops like the video water everywhere. You'll be like this guy flooded.
Good chaka chaka.
Yeah. But the sauna itself is a mental challenge, right? It's a mental challenge, and it depends on what you.
Do you have the one that has your head sticks out or
No.
you're inside of it?
You're inside of
Yeah.
it. And
Dude, have you seen them?
yeah,
I'm like,
yes.
put your fucking head in there, see what you think.
Yeah. And it's funny because I go to the gym in El Centro, the 413. Shout out 413 for the new sauna with the red light.
That's right. 413.
I get in there, but it's a dry sauna. So that one you could hang in there for half an hour and you'd be like, this is cake. Right? You'll get a sweat. Don't get me wrong, you can get a sweat at 175 degrees in there.
So it's not the kind where you like pour the water on the
No,
rocks.
it's
and
just
creates,
dry.
like, steam?
It's just dry. There's
no steam.
It's hot in there.
Yeah, it's just hot. There's fucking.
So you just fucking walk
How
outside.
hot are you guys in?
Hmm?
What temperature are you in the sauna?
In that one?
Yeah.
170, 180. Right. Now, in my sauna, it's about the same, but it's steam,
Fuck, it sucks.
bro. 6 minutes, you're fucking dying.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
That's a wet heat.
With this, Danny, come tomorrow, bro.
I'm working a double.
After your double, come tomorrow, bro.
Still
Now you gotta shower.
You got 8 hours off.
My rule is rinse before you jump in, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Well, that's what I do. So like
What happens? All the toxins come out.
my ice bath
afterwards?
or cold plunge has a filter on it, right?
Yeah.
So I ask people if they're gonna use it, shower.
Yeah.
Right, in the sauna, same thing, right?
I just cleaned it today, so it's good to go.
Yeah. So I mean, because like you have oils and shit on your skin, and
Yeah.
people wear deodorant, and got dirty booty cracks and all that kind of stuff. It's fucking gross, bro. But um, yeah, I mean, so what I was saying is like I invested in myself, right?
Continue recording. All right.
So that shit, what I did is um, I took my time and I built my backyard, and I like over the course of the last 2 years,
Uh-huh.
right? And so now I have a space where I hosted a men's circle. I had 5 guys come over to the house,
Nice.
and we had conversations kind of like we're having, right? And then put them through some breath work, and then they got in the sauna and cold plunge, right? And it was amazing, right? And so that's the goal, is to have that space to be able to have clients, either one on one or groups, small groups, and just kind of start untangling that.
Well, I'm down to fucking untangle some shit, bro.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
I'm gonna go see your homie, Lena.
You're gonna go?
Maybe like in a year.
Oh, you fuck.
You should go do a breathwork session, just a regular, straight up breathwork session. Do it.
Somatic.
Or you can
breath work.
come to the house and I'll put you through one.
Yeah, he's learning. You're gonna be one of his
I have
guinea
to do my
pigs.
final, bro.
Yeah, do it
I
on.
swear. I
Maybe you can
swear.
hypnotize him into being
Bringing 4 people.
less of an asshole.
I feel like I can bring people to you.
Sure, but I'm gonna tell you something.
No, we're gonna pay you, bro. Don't trip.
No,
He doesn't care about money. He told
don't
you.
worry, man. Don't worry.
He has the
What I was
he's
what I
got
was gonna say
bufadora.
is the bufadora, the blowhole. So what I was gonna say is it's I would recommend that you go somewhere, whether it's me or whoever, right? Go somewhere on your own first. Whether that's a group or on your or a one-on-one session. But what I'm saying is,
Get it out, buddy.
Gilbert, help him, bro.
Get it out. Get it out. Some
So
of the evil
what I
leaves
was saying
the
is,
body.
if you're gonna go with the group, go with people that you don't know. I'll tell you why. Because it's easy for us to think like, oh, hey, let's all 4 of us go. Gilbert, we're invited. Let's all 4 of us go,
That's 3.
and we're gonna go through this experience, right? And you have to be able to let go of the ego,
Mhm.
to give yourself permission to go in, to allow yourself
That
to
makes sense.
express your emotions and
Yeah.
express whatever it is, right? Because a lot of people have these experiences through breathwork. If you Google breathwork or YouTube breathwork, somatic breathwork, you're gonna see videos of that look scary. You're gonna see people breathing and then people shaking and yelling and crying and doing all this stuff, right? Now, is that what breathwork is? It can be, but it's not like that for everybody, and there's no expectation of whatever response you're supposed to have, right? If you go through a breathwork session with me, and the entire session you're just laying still, but you were breathing and you were in it and you got something out of it, right? Does it matter what it looked like? No, you got something out of it because you are the one that knows your problems, not me, right? So a lot of the times when you go on YouTube or Google or whatever, you look these things up, and those videos are off-putting because that's not the reality all the time. Can it be? Yes. Right. So, one thing that I think by me doing this, right, by me being vocal about this world that I'm in now, right, is that it gives people like me from the fields that are similar, people that are probably listening to us right now, right, that are here, that have known me through your podcast, that maybe aren't in EMS, but they're in your guys' line of work or something else, gives them the permission to be like, fuck, if he said it's okay, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even if they don't come to me, maybe one person listens to this shit and says, fuck it, man, I'm gonna go try this shit in Oregon where nobody knows me. Something, right? And then they go and they find out that they're okay, that they're good, right? Amazing, right? And I'm not asking for a single dollar in return for that. I'm saying go fucking get it done. That's the difference from conventional therapy.
Damn. Pull the mic out and drop it. I think that's a great way to start to wrapping it up. The way that you you bring that back and tie it back into the different professions, because my final or closing thoughts on this whole thing is that that analogy that you used earlier about going out and doing the things that we do, seeing the things that we see day in, day out, experiencing the things that we experience, and bringing that luggage and piling it into the closet until there's no more room. And then one day the freaking door breaks and there's shit everywhere. Like anybody who does what we do and doesn't understand that analogy, they're kidding themselves. Like they're kidding themselves. And if this is something that can help people get through that so that they learn how to deal with, the situation that that we've our chosen profession for whatever reason, cultural, ego, um we all have our reasons for why we do stuff, right? But that doesn't mean that it has to be this way, because it's always been this way, because everybody else that does this is tough, and everybody else who does this is no one else is asking for help. No one else is raising their hand and saying, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping, I'm having trouble with this, I'm having trouble with that, right? So why should I'm going to tough it out like everybody else. So if that resonates with one person, and they go and open that door, whatever door that might be,
Yeah.
whether it's the first step of maybe traditional therapy,
Yeah.
maybe it's this route that you took, but maybe it's something. Just open the door and peek in. Or if you have that wall built up, like, sit on the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Climb up there, stop peeking over, climb up on the wall, sit there, let your feet hang over, and be like, what's it like over here?
Yeah, what's going on over there?
You know?
Mhm.
I think that's a really good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just it, right? Is you're giving yourself permission. Like, whether you want to call it permission or grace or forgiveness or whatever, we all carry something. And whatever that monkey's on our back saying, doing, whispering in our ear, whatever, right? It's stopping you from becoming a better you, right? Like, I used to tell my wife, right, like, like, I want to be better. I want to be better, right? But it's not like it's it was always at the cost of happiness. Does that make sense? Like, I wanted to be better because this wasn't good enough, right? And then just think about you know, everybody out there listening, like, think about the most happiest time in your life, the time that you felt the most joy. Imagine if it was like 10% better. Not because that's not good enough, but because it does get that much better. Now, being on the other side, like, you could be like, yeah, I thought that shit was happiness. Oh no, man, this shit right here, it's cool, man. It's really cool, right? And that's why, like, some people that I know get fucking annoyed because this is all I talk about, right? But, like, what they don't understand is that it changed my fucking life. It saved my life, right? So it truly has changed the way I view the world, the way I view myself, the way I view my family, the way I view a lot of things in this world, right? So yeah, but it all started with curiosity. Oh, what's back there?
Mhm.
Oh, I think I could off. Yeah, let's see what happens. And I rolled the dice and I saw some shit that I wanted more of, right? Like, that's the thing. I liked the version of the problems that I was seeing because there was a ton of lessons in those fucking failures. But it's
And
all curiosity.
I like that you had admitted that even though you were curious, you still fought it because of, your just the who you are, who
Mhm.
you were as a person, and what you believed in, the way you were raised, whatever that was. But you were like, hey, what's this about? And then about halfway through, you're barfing your guts out because you were like, this is right. Like, so you still, like, but you gave it, you took that first step,
Yeah.
right? And even though your body, your mind pushed back a little bit, you still,
Well, it's part of the process,
yeah,
right?
it is, because it
Moment's chance.
wouldn't be normal. It wouldn't be normal for you to just be like, hey, this is all brand new, I'm just going to take it all in. You have to it's part of the human nature.
Yeah, I mean,
to
imagine
be like
imagine if I didn't
skeptical
have
and
that experience, right, where I did the hop in, I was trying to meditate and all that stuff. Like, let's say I didn't puke, the experience wouldn't have been that impactful. Maybe, right? Maybe it's just normal,
yeah, but it was all part of it.
right? And when it started that day, when it started, right, it was funny because like I told Lena like after the fact, I was like, man, when I first got here and we're talking, everything was good, and then you guys are like, hey, let's go do some breath work. I was like, fuck. Here we go, this hippie shit, right? I remember saying it to myself, and as we're walking to her tent, right? I'm like, fuck, man. And I started this. I'm like, here we go. I'm fucking like, all right. And when I fucking turned on, I tell people that I turned like what's that comic where the guy that lights himself on fire? Fucking
Fantastic Four.
yeah. What's that guy's name?
Flame.
Yeah, flame on. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's fucking what I felt like. I was like, holy shit, like vibrating, right? And I was like, yeah, I was fucking sold after that because it gave me a glimpse of like peace, just for a second, and I was like, oh, how can I get more of that, right? And it's the curiosity, right? But yeah, I mean, I fought it for so long because our ego gets in the way, man. Our ego gets in the way all the time, and it's there to help us. I mean, it's there to protect us and all that kind of stuff, but it gets in the way.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts is those of you listening, and I know it's some people are on and off. If you're interested, hit us up on the instant messages, the IMs. We won't put your business out there, of course, but we will try to connect you in a with Lena or
Yeah,
with
somebody. Yeah,
Sergio,
we'll get you some help. Yeah.
with anybody to give it a shot. Um, Personally, I like to give it a shot. I know that there's a couple of friends of mine who are in the mental health field who always said, I want to make an assessment of you. I would like to do this to you. I would like to do that to you. I think this seems cool, because I've done it to some extent. Um, with the sauna, because in the sauna, you get to the point, especially in the steam sauna, when it's 185, 180, whatever, you get to the point where you're like, I can't take it no more. Like, it's just too fucking much. And then you just like, let's breathe a little bit, so I would feel more comfortable personally trying this out. But um Sergio, thank you for coming out and speaking of this new experience for you. I know it's been about a year, right, since you've been doing it, or how long?
About 2 years now.
About 2 years now.
Yeah.
You didn't speak about it last time, but you were kind of
Yeah, I kind of touched on it because it was like super new still.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how to.
I didn't think I didn't think you want to get emotional. I don't know if that's what it
Well, I mean, there was
was.
a lot of stuff going on back then still.
Yeah.
Right. For me.
Yes.
There was a lot of stuff, and then there's stuff that I didn't really feel comfortable talking about just yet. But yeah.
Yeah. And I remember where we talked recently, I think it was like 4 months ago, we're like, hey, what's up? We gotta get you back on. And you're like, I want to talk about my experience, and here we are. And you did it. So I applaud you. I'm proud of you. Um it's a big step for you, and it's an opening for a lot of men and women in our field to have that courage, build that confidence, and seek peace of mind at the
Yeah.
end of the
No.
day.
Yeah. No. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank
Thank
you.
you.
So that's why I wanted to have you. I wanted to have you a couple weeks ago. It didn't work out. Whatever. It's always like that with the fucking Hot Mic show. When you're
On the line. Hot schedules.
hot schedules.
Like not Mike on the line.
But all of you guys listening, you guys already know this is what this show is about. This show is about number one, you guys, mental health for all first responders, all law enforcement. Um, we all walk a difficult line, and whether it sounds sincere or not, I'm proud of you guys for doing what you do, um, for sacrificing your time, your life, from your families. Number one, because I'm there, I've been there, we've been there, Sergio's been there, Danny's been there. You guys listening, you've been there. I'm hearing the comments how some of you guys could have done something different to exchange that time for your family, but we don't because we're in a demanding role at the end of the day. But thank you guys. This is a long ass fucking show. Thanks for sticking
One of
around.
our longest shows to date.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize what time it was.
Yeah, it's all good, brother.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's so long that my memory went out on my computer,
Damn.
Oops.
but it's all good.
It's all good.
Like
Yeah.
it saves on Facebook. I can fucking
I'll take it down later. Yeah.
I'll do a bunch of nerdy shit that I've learned
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Well, is anybody still listening? Let's see if anybody is anybody listening.
Yeah, brother, what's it
Raise your hand.
8 or 9 listeners.
Oh,
What is it?
Sylvia's in there saying I need tools.
Yeah, she says it's not cheaper. She has to pay for.
Not supposed to watch this
My
one
guy.
time. Some shit.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Sergeant Moore is listening. That is fucking valid.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yep.
Nice.
Shout out to Moore. Shout out to Kalu. Shout out to shit. We got a captain listening right here. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
put you out there, girl. We got a captain up in here. We got Thomas up in here. We got
Georgie.
fucking OG Garduño up in
Hey,
here.
Tanya says. Excuse. Hey, pinche fijada.
We have to get Garduño on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you want,
Rest?
so
Rest.
if you
My
want,
rest
so
was
we'll
on.
do a quick 10 breaths.
All right, let's do it. 10 breaths. Everybody,
All right, so
stop
yeah.
jacking off. Hold on.
If you're driving, stop driving. Just reckon to whatever you're reckon. So close your eyes. All right. So we're gonna take 10 deep breaths in through our mouth, out through our mouth, and at the end of that, we're gonna hold on the inhale. Right, big full mouth. All right, and then we're gonna do 10 more in through our nose, out through our mouth. Don't worry, we'll recap, and then we're gonna hold at the bottom of an exhale, so empty belly. Right. So just close your eyes. If you're sitting down or laying down, whatever it is that you're doing, just kind of feel the ground or the seat beneath you. If you're laying down, whatever you're laying on, just feel that. And take a deep breath and inhale all the way in through your chest, through your belly. Fill it up all the way in, all the way to the top of your head, and just let it out. And give yourself a moment to just allow yourself to be here. For these 10, 20 breaths, just allow yourself to be here, nowhere else. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and in through your mouth. More, and all the way in, deepest breath, and hold. And just give yourself a little gratitude for fucking being here with each other. There's no rush here. Just whenever your body's ready, you're not doing it wrong, your body knows what to do. Just exhale at your own time. And as you exhale, let go of all that stupid shit we always hold on to. There you go. So in 3, 2, 1, we're going to get back into nose breathing. So the longer exhales. So it should sound something like this. That's 1. Two more. And on this last one, empty out your belly. And hold it at the bottom. And just receive a little tiny bit of grace from yourself. Allow yourself to be present and to just be thankful for what we have. And when you take this breath to fill your belly, you're just going to breathe all that in. All right. When you're ready, open your eyes.
Fuck the chief. What?
That's a tiny example.
Thanks, man. I feel fucking relaxed.
Yeah.
Me too. My hands got all sweaty.
Nice.
Okay, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Shut it down. Love y'all.
Good night, everybody.